Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Advanced Virtual Presentation Mastery Series. This is our first in the series of 3. This is Zoom Mastery Masterclass. So we are going to start. So again, welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today on your Saturday and for the next 3 Saturdays to be with myself and just this wonderful community that we're building. So we are going to start by building community by meeting each of you. So let's start with only about 30 seconds. 30 seconds, your name, what is it that you do really quickly, and what do you want to get most out of this class? You see, if you could all get at least 5 new things that you didn't know, then we've been a success for today. Just 5 new things that you went, wow, that's worth millions, then we've accomplished what we wanted to do today. You will learn a lot more than that, but even if just 5 things that you didn't know that now you know that could make your life easier and your classes and your coaching easier, that's my goal and objective today. So let's go around the room. We're going to start with Angel. So again, 30 seconds. And what do you want most out of this class?
What I want most out of the class is to learn Zoom. I have the very, very basics. I just signed up for the paid plan, but I think I need to sign up for the advanced paid plan because I can't do co-hosting. So that was going to be one of my questions.
Okay, good. As soon as we're done, let's come back to that question. All right, let's go to Katie. I'm just calling you on the screen that I see you. Let's go to Katie.
Hi, Katie from Hawaii. And
aloha.
Aloha. I'm going through a phase of rebranding myself in a way that I'm an optician. I have been on the speaking circuit within that realm, and now I am as still an optician, rebranding myself with low vision to no vision, helping people that don't have, that are losing their sight. And I want to be on the speaking circuit differently. I don't want to do just the professional organizations. I want to do it to people in general to help them understand more about their vision and how they can help themselves as they go into blindness.
Okay, thank you. And what do you want most out of the class today, Katie?
Well, that was part of it. That was a part of the like blind people, they don't use Zoom, and I've been Zooming for years. And I even have a PowerPoint presentation on teaching Zoom for people who have low vision to no vision.
Got
it. I want to learn more about the breakouts.
Okay.
So that's okay. So thank you for making me focus on breakouts.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Let's go to Jeanette.
Hi, everyone. My name's Jeanette Lehoullier, and my focus is on senior tech tutoring.
I still can't see y'all.
It's okay, Tori, just hang there for a little bit. We're just meeting everybody.
Okay.
And I just want to have a more well-rounded knowledge of Zoom. I know a few things, but I'd like to be able to utilize it and make sure that I feel comfortable as I run my own Zooms.
All right, great, thank you. Okay. Janine.
Janine, yes, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm Janine from Canada, and I'm in transition as well. I currently work as a massage therapist, but I am a specialist in the nervous system and eliminating trauma from the nervous system. And I'm also a language specialist. So I am transitioning to professional speaking to assist individuals to become the best they can be. And what I want to learn with Zoom today is all the little details that stop me, and how is it possible to use Zoom on other platforms. So I like multi-streaming it on other platforms. So for example, doing Zoom on Facebook or doing Zoom on other platforms like that. Yeah, and being more effective at using polls as well.
Okay, we're going to do
Thank you.
that today too. I set one up for you. So come back to me with that question and I'll answer that. The answer is yes, but there's a couple other tools too that you can be using. All right, Karen. Karen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen. I'm in Huntington Beach, California, and I'm getting started with my coaching practice. And what I do is I coach female entrepreneurs how they can maximize their strengths and succeed in life. And what I want to learn most in this Zoom, just really how to use it, because I use Zoom, but mostly for one-on-one. I want to know how to do group coaching, and someone already mentioned breakouts and all the other features to maximize.
All right, great. Thank you, Karen. Karen has been a client of mine for like 17 years, off and on. So welcome back. And she hasn't changed a bit. You know, I don't know what her secret is. All right. And then Beth, someone who we see eye to eye. Beth, you're up.
We see eye to eye. I'm Beth Weatherford, and I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I help people look good, feel good, and turn back the hands of time with an amazing new product that's just been on the market for a very short time. So I am doing Zooms a lot, but I seem to be pretty stagnant. Like, I'm all about how to do breakouts, polls, how to do the recordings and what to do afterwards, where to put them, how much storage do I really have? I don't know what to do with them after I've made them.
Got it. Okay, good. That's a good one. All right, let's go to, and I say eye to eye because her and I are about the same height, but in Zoom, we're giants.
Yeah, and we're all the same.
But eventually we're going to have to go out on that stage again, and the people are going to see exactly how tall or not tall I really am. All right, so I thought Beth was tall. Guess how tall Beth is? Who can guess? 5 feet? 5'3"?
5'2".
5'2"? Beth?
5'3".
I'm 4'9". 4'9".
Wow.
So, you know, I know the presence on Zoom is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so I'm a little taller than that. All right, but I love it. All right, Michelle, you're up.
Well, good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning.
wait, it's afternoon here.
Oh, good afternoon.
So I am a health consultant, a registered nurse, and my vision for my company, I recently wrote a book on aging well. And so I want to be able to help people kind of turn back the hands of time, but internally by just living healthier lifestyles and seeing how they can just make little tweaks so that they can age well into their 80s and 90s.
Nice. And we're all ladies here, and who wants that, right? Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. All right, Angeline, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Angeline Benjamin. I am an author, speaker, and a coach. I call myself an action coach. I empowered and inspired women to achieve their goals. And so what I want to learn from Zoom, and I know I conducted Zoom since pandemic. I've been involved in doing Zoom for many, many, many years, but I never conducted. So I learned a lot, but I want to learn more about how to do conduct the breakout room, use the breakout room effectively.
Okay.
You know, because I found that's very, very helpful when you have a lot of people participating in your meeting. And then also I would like to be able to use other platform, like another lady said that, for example, Facebook Live. I know it's happening, but I just want to make sure I can do this effectively, that it doesn't, look unprofessional.
Amen. Good for you. Good for you. All right. And Angeline runs a group, also a network.
No, Thursday.
Right.
My class, my workshop, my meeting is Thursday.
Meeting,
First
yeah.
Thursday. Yes.
A women's group. So later on, we can check out that. All right. We are going now to Alice in New York.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm a lawyer in Brooklyn. I just want to learn how to get past join with this link, really. That's all I know.
Okay.
It's every day. It's like the next time you're giving a class on using a television, let me know.
Okay.
Because there's so many things you have to know these days,
There is, right? There are, yes, absolutely. All right,
Okay.
great. You're in the right place. All right, Luana.
Hi, I'm Lawana Parker, and I'm here in Sacramento, California, the state capital. And I am first of all, I'm a speaker, I'm an author and a blogger. And I also call myself a journal and inspirational coach. What I'd like to learn a little more about Zoom, I know quite a bit because I've been on it for several years, but there are new things that they've been adding I'd like to learn. But my main thing is I want to learn how to feel confident doing Facebook Live.
Okay.
Exactly how to structure what I have to say so that I don't be running on or not giving the right kind of information.
Excellent. And we're going to have that class next Saturday, and I'm going to give you all a formula to use, and it's a profit pulling formula as well. So there's one thing just to do lives and be goofy, but what if you could turn it into business? Wouldn't that be really cool?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to do that as well. All right, good job. All right, and Luana, we'll talk about Luana's background a little bit later because she has a secret background. All right, right? That's not your real background, right? That's what we talked about before. You're muted. It sounds lovely, but you're muted. All right, so Tori, you're coming in for the third time. That's okay. Oh, okay. Okay, Angel, we'll come back to you. All right, so let's go to Cheryl.
Good morning, ladies. My name is Cheryl Green. I'm in Los Angeles, California. I am a speaker and a sales trainer, coach, and I want to know how to do the webinars, RV. Like we're on Zoom now. For Eric, I need to teach sales teams some sales strategies, and I would want to be confident with that because right now I love getting the link and hitting the link and I'm here, but I couldn't do what you're doing. I would love to know how to have a meeting in addition to a Zoom meeting, though. I would love to know how to have a webinar, a Zoom webinar.
All right, and remind me to ask me that question later because I don't want to start too, complicated, but Zoom webinars are different from Zoom meetings, very, very different. So but let's do some basics and then we'll work up to that. So don't let me forget. That's a great question. All right, let's go to Tori. I don't know. I see Tori 3 times. 2 times. Will the real Tori please stand up? You're muted, honey. You're muted. I've known Tori forever too, about 17, 18 years. All right, Tori. You're muted, honey. Can you unmute?
She may have some audio difficulty. And if something happens to me, RV, I have been freezing and my mics have been switching. So I'm glad you can hear me now. And if anything happens, it's some technical stuff going on here.
Yeah, usually that's what the problem is it's not Zoom, it's the equipment. So Linda, can you unmute yourself? You were unmuted earlier. Can you either, you know what, why don't you come in by your telephone? Might even be better than your computer. It sounds like your computer's not cooperating. Yes, Janine.
Has two open now.
Yeah,
She has
she
two
has-
accounts open now. I'll remove one of them and see if that works.
Oh, no, if you remove her, don't remove her. She can't come back in.
Okay. She
Don't
has two open though. So this is great training. So she has two slots open.
She has to get out.
So if one of them is removed, she will not be able to come in at all.
No,
Okay.
because that's how I have my settings. So I have my settings. See,
Okay.
and this happened to Angeline, right? Remember, Angeline, I was on your meeting and you had a troll that came in. Remember that? And you could get rid of them. And I said, remove them. Remember that? And Nancy Ann said, listen to her. And you removed them and then they were gone. Most of the time, we don't want those trolls to come back. They come back and say nasty things.
Okay, now do you see me?
Yay!
I don't know how I did it. I have no idea, everybody. So
It's
it's
okay.
a
Don't do it.
shot.
Don't.
It's a shot in the dark.
Good. Yay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I messed everybody up. So
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. These are all lessons that we learned. Just know that as a host, there's nothing I can do when it's equipment errors. There's nothing, right? You have to, just, figure it out, and you did. So congratulations. Excellent. All right, Tori.
Yes.
A little bit about you and what you want to get out of this class.
Oh, okay. As you see, I have a problem with Zoom getting on, but I do conduct a Zoom class twice a month, and I do my consultation on Zoom, but I'm always the facilitator. So it's really a great experience to know what the other side feels, how they're trying to connect. And we've had problems with them connecting with me. So my take on receiving more information on Zoom is how it can spread out, like most of you, to a larger audience. I'm a spiritual teacher, so I have lectures for over 10 years, maybe 12 years. And so people want those lectures, and I'd like to find a format where I can share those lectures out, of course, and do that in a more professional manner. You could see how I'm trying really hard to get on. I couldn't connect with all of you, but I heard some wonderful shares. So I really appreciate being in this wonderful, powerful group of women.
Thank you, Tori. All right, so so we'll talk about that. That's about recording and things like that. So I'm glad you're here, and and we'll see if we can help figure out what that was. But I'm glad you figured it out. All right, let's come back to Angel. Angel didn't get to share what she does. So Angel, go ahead.
Well, actually, I cheated. I typed it in the chat to everyone.
Okay.
I didn't get to. So basically, I do digital business cards, and it's like having a mini website. The software that we're using is far beyond any digital business cards that I've seen out there thus far. So if you're interested in getting digital business cards, my job is to promote your business.
That's a nice job to have, right, ladies? Okay. All right. So excuse my dogs, but they're going to play right now. All right. So let's get started. So one of the first fundamental things that we need to make sure that we know is how our individual Zooms are set up, right? Most people will go to a Zoom account and they never go to the settings and they never change anything. They don't even look at it. And so some of those decisions that have been made for you by Zoom may not be the same ones you want. So like things like passwords versus waiting rooms, right? Zoom, when it began, and I started, just like I think Katie said, she was using Zoom a long time, and Angeline using Zoom. I've been on Zoom since 2015, and I got on Zoom because I was a guest speaker at a digital symposium, which means it was a tech symposium. So all the tech people, of course, knew about Zoom long before we did, because it came out of the WebEx environment, which is for corporate, right? And then Eric, who developed it, he didn't like the user interface of WebEx. So he started developing it on his own. And of course, it was a success. And one thing led to another. And he started his company. And it was, back a little bit before 2015. So I've been using it for a long time, was amazed at it because I was having trouble with GoToWebinar. Right? I mean, I needed to do webinars. I was trying to do webinars and I would do a webinar and then all of a sudden it would blank out. It would just stop in the middle, right before my close or whatever, right? Or I'd have guest speakers. It was a nightmare. So I began to fear it a little bit and that technology. So I didn't do it, right? Which I knew I needed to be doing it and teaching my students how to do it. And then Zoom came along and it was like the answer to my prayers, like, right? And I just latched onto it, then started doing webinars with it and meetings and coaching and masterminds. And then all of a sudden now I find myself, ready when we all went into Zoom. All right. So, but the lucky thing is I'm grandfathered, so I pay a very little amount per month than some people do. So I'm just blessed that I've kept that all this time. So we'll talk about pricing and all of that because I know Angel had that question as well. But let's go to our basic setup. Now I'm going to share the screen. What I want all of you to do is on your own computer, you can minimize the screens. So if we look over at the left hand, we see a little thing that's called view. You have speaker view, gallery view, or exit full view. You can exit full view and you can work on your computer. For Zoom, we're all going to zoom.us. I'm going to show you in a minute, but I want you to go step by step and change your settings as we go. Don't try to remember this. Don't try to write it down. Let's just do it one time and get it done, right? Are you with me? Get her done. Good. So go ahead and just it looks like this. Well, you can't see my screen, but let me share my screen, right? So I'm going to go to a web browser. You could go to any one. Zoom works on all of them. I have two screens, so I'm going to pull my other screen over. When I do a share, of course, all of you move over to my left automatically. You're not going to see that. So you're going to have to exit full view so that you can get to your desktop like me. And then you're going to type in zoom.us. Zoom.us. And all of you, that's where you had to go to sign up for Zoom at some point. You can ask me questions as I go through this, stop me, just unmute and ask me the question flat out. So then you go to your account. Everybody sees my screen, right? Okay, Linda, you're saying no, but other people are saying yes. Something is really where we're going to have to spend a little extra time with you, Tori, because you should be seeing this like, easy peasy. So we have to figure out what's going on with you. It's something technical. All right. So you're going.
Barbie, I have a question. I opened up a brand new screen and I did the zoom.us, but mine says join a meeting, host a meeting, sign in. So
Okay.
you want me to sign
No.
in?
No. You did not. You have to go to a web browser. Do not click on the little Zoom icon. You've got to go to a web browser and type in zoom.us.
Okay, I did that and I entered and so I'm on a second screen. And okay.
Go to a web. What you have is the little icon thing that comes up to join a meeting. You don't want that. You want to go to a web browser and type in zoom.us.
Okay, dokie, got it. Thanks.
Yeah. If you're on that one, just click on another X and or plus sign and get into somewhere else.
But in the browser, we're going to sign in, right?
Correct. You're going to go zoom.us and just like I did, right? Okay, so I signed in. Yep. Well, now I'm all signed in. Let me sign out. Let me exit. All right, see, this is what you have, right, Katie? Right? See this? You had something like this. You don't want to do that. You want to go to the browser. Like I'm just going to go to a browser and I'm going to type in zoom.us. Okay. Then I'm going to go to my account. Then I'm in my profile. This is your profile. Everybody get to your profile.
Okay,
Everybody's there, right?
almost.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's nothing really fantastic you need to know too much about your profile. This is where you change your picture. So if you want to put a logo up there, you can. What I do when I'm hosting an event is I will often put the logo there. You can come in and change it back and forth, whatever you want. But if you want to change your picture, this is where you do it. Or if you don't have one. Now, you don't have to worry about the phone number. Okay, here's your personal ID right here. This is automatically given to you from Zoom. However, if you want to change it and put in your personal phone number, because it's the size of a phone number, you go over to the right and you hit this edit key. Everybody got that? And I could edit it. Now, when I first got Zoom, we didn't have that feature. So everybody knows this is my personal ID. I have a lot of classes out there I teach, so I don't want to change it. But if it's easier for you to remember your ID by changing it to your phone number, and if you want the world to have your phone number, then this is a way you can change it and personalize it. Got it?
What do you think about doing that, RV? Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea? Or just get a number and stick with it as your personal number?
Yeah, I just let Zoom do it. I would just stick to a Zoom number and not put my personal phone number in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. All right, underneath, and this is important, this is that number. See how this is your personal ID, and now it goes into this whole link. This is the link you send to people. However, here's the $1 million idea, ladies. You do not need the US 02 web dot. See this? You don't delete it here, you leave it here. But if you look at the code I gave you, it was https://zoom.us/j/ and my number. Got it? So there's these you don't need when you're sending people your link. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it. You don't want to edit that. I'm just giving you a little trick if you want to make it look a little less scary with all this extra stuff. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Now mine is the HTTPS Zoom, and then it has a plethora of numbers, letters, and equal
Okay.
signs, question marks, stuff like that.
Okay, that is because you have passwords turned on and you have embedded passwords. So I would recommend you get rid of passwords and do waiting rooms. And I'm going to show you where that is. And this is for everyone. A long time ago, we didn't have to have either. But since the pandemic, Zoom has forced us to have either or. They used to force us for the first 5 days into the pandemic, they forced us to have passwords and everybody complained and it was a big uproar. So now they gave us a choice, passwords or waiting room. Waiting room is much better because people can't come in until you admit them. You get a notice, just like all of you came in and I got a notice. But passwords cause havoc because then you have to send out a notice. You have to tell people what it's just a mess. So I recommend taking it off. And then like Katie said, you've got this big old URL with a lot of scary numbers in it that you cannot reduce. You've got to send that big number. Okay, good one.
RV, I just looked in my, I have my phone number as my personal ID. I must have changed it. How do I change it back?
You just, well, you can't change it back to whatever they gave you because it's probably gone. But
I can make my own.
You can make your own, but do a lot of people already have that? for you as a meeting?
No, I've been generating a new one for almost every meeting. So no, they don't have this.
Oh, okay, which we will talk about that as well, how to generate for every meeting if you want. But yeah, then you will just go over to the left or the right to this edit and just change it to whatever number.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
keep your number, but maybe change the area code or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Arby, I have a questions regarding waiting room versus password.
Yes.
Okay, I used to put a waiting room.
Yes.
And I did the password too. But this was a challenge one day I happened to happen that on the day when I'm supposed to conduct the Zoom, I was sick. I had to go to emergency, so I cannot run the Zoom. And then I have to have somebody, you know, Robbie decided, okay, I'm going to run your Zoom. And so she was able to get in, but she could not let other people get in because if you put the version on, if you host a Zoom and you use the waiting room as the version, you cannot run this, somebody else cannot run your Zoom.
Okay. Yes, they can, but you have to do something. So let me show you right now what to do. I can't show you because there's only one host. You can have multiple co-hosts till the cows come home, right? I can make all of you co-hosts, but there's only one host. So
Right.
if you are not going to be like, if you have to go to the emergency, then you do one of two things. Either you give that person your password, your control, so they can be the host. Like they have to pretend they're you with your password, your email address. But there's an easier way if you know you're going to go. Right before you're going to go, you turn on the meeting. And as a host, when you go into the upper corner of your screen, you got 3 little dots, right? You have that person come in. You can give them host capabilities, not co-host, host. You can make them host.
Okay.
And then you don't ever have to go to the meeting. But that just requires, so 2 ways. Either you give them your password, you tell them to come in as you, which is easier if it's like the next day. But if it's just a couple of hours ahead of time, you and them come on, and then you make them a host. And then they have to make you co-host if you want to come in and do something, or you just become a regular member. Now where does this come in handy? This is what I did for the $1 Million Speaker Summit. Many of you were on there. All right. So CJ, who is my MC and my co-pilot, we got together at 7:30 in the morning. I got on Zoom. We met on Zoom. I gave him host capabilities. So I relinquished my abilities. He made me co-host. And then I went off and I got ready for the event. And then I didn't come, I turned off my camera and then I came back at 9 o'clock or whenever the appropriate time was for me to start the seminar. All right. So you can do that. So Angeline, whichever way you want to do it, you might have your, like Nancy Ann or somebody, just know your password, know your, ID, so that if something like that happens again, they can just come into your Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Arby, for the personal ID, I met someone who her personal ID is her name. Like her name's Wendy Zoom. And that's all. I just go put that on the browser and it goes to her Zoom. How can we do that, or is an upgrade?
Yes. Okay. So that was the link. That wasn't her personal ID. Her personal ID still was some number from Zoom. But what she did is she took that link and she probably had a big password or something. So she took the link and probably made it a bit.ly. Was it like a bit.ly link? bit.ly.Wendy Zoom? Yeah. So you could do that. But you don't need to do that unless it's password where you have that big old ugly registration number. Yeah. So that's possible. If you want to learn more how to do that, then that's outside of Zoom, but I'll be happy to show you. Yes, Tori, you're muted. You're muted.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, I have a question. I have, when I do my classes, I have about 16, 17 people, in my class every other week. So what happens is sometimes at the end of the class, one or two students want to ask a question. It's kind of a private thing, that they want a little question with me about something that happened. But anyway, I have one student that always takes her face off, like, it's blank screen with her name on it. But I don't know how to, how do I say, cut that video or that audio off. So, because it's private conversation, some of the students have a question about. And we continue to have that problem, although I spoke to her. So how do you,
Okay,
you know,
that's a good question. So if it's after your regular meeting,
right,
then you need to become that video or audio editor. So you need a piece of software, like I use ABS, RV, Virginia Sam, ABS software, and you have to edit it. Now, I'm not one that I want to do anything like that, right?
Yes,
If I can't help it, I don't need another job. I don't need to be the video, editor. So the best thing to do, what I would recommend is if you know that person is going to be like that, then just pause your recording. Just pause the recording, let them answer their question, and then it won't be recorded. Then you don't have to do the big job of trying to edit it later.
But what if she's listening in to the conversation?
That's fine. You just don't really want it on the recording, right?
Well, I don't want her to be listening, but it's a personal question a student is asking me after class.
Oh, after class. There's nothing you can do about that. As long as somebody's in the room, they can mute themselves, but you cannot mute and have somebody ask a question, right?
Can you remove them though?
What you can do, hang on one second. So what you can do is this. You can go into a breakout room with an individual. So let you say, okay, I'm going to open it up to personal questions. All right. So you either put everybody else in a breakout room. That's probably how I would do. I would put everybody in a breakout room, and then you bring in the person out of the breakout room for you and her to have that conversation.
Oh, wonderful.
You put them into the breakout room and pull in the next person that has a question. So that way it can be, and you still might want to pause the recording so it's not
right,
because it will be recorded if you don't pause, because it's you in the main room. Remember, the main room gets recorded no matter what happens, whether you're just sitting there going do, or you're actually talking to somebody. So that's what I would do, Tori, and that way you don't have to end your meeting.
Awesome.
Okay.
RV, where do you pause the recording? Because we can't do that because you're recording it.
Correct. You'll see it down in your toolbar. You'll see recording. And that's all you see.
I see record. So that would be where I'd see the pause, the stop, and the start.
Once you record, then you see pause and stop.
Okay.
Recording. And you see the recording happening in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. You know it's, everybody sees that. You know it's being recorded. Right? Right? Okay. So Angel just did something that I always recommend. When you join a Zoom meeting, if you have to go, don't turn off your recording or your video, or you end up at the bottom of the screen. And you see it's first come, first serve. So the earlier you're at a Zoom event, the more you're going to be right in line with my view or the host's view. Later, like some of you are down below my view because I'm looking at the camera. I see you with my peripheral. But if you turn off your camera, you end up down below. So don't turn it off. Just get something and cover it up. All right? Katie, did you like that? Did you see that? Did you see what it was? Hawaiian flowers? All right. So just a little trick, and that's what Angel did. She's learned that trick.
Hey, I've got a quick question.
That tells me that you have a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses.
I have 3 pairs of Maui sunglasses, 1 in my purse and 2 in my closet. Yeah. But I also have a pair of Pradas that I really like too, but I don't take them to the beach with me. All right. Question.
Yeah, just a quick question. If you accidentally hit stop instead of pause, is there a easy way to splice them together?
only with like video software. It's not
Okay.
that hard. If that's what you kind of want to do is become a video editor, I can do it. But it just takes a lot of time for me because that's not something I do every day. Where all these video guys, they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it. So it's best to just learn how to do it if you have to do it. Or just tell people, sorry, it's 2 pieces. Now if you do the cloud, it's going to still be the same kind of thing. The cloud is very weird because in a long event, even though I hit pause on my 1-day event, I get 2 or 3 recordings from the cloud, right? So it's very tricky. I rather do it on my computer. So just try to practice and remember and do the best you can. That's why, like, I got a co-host to help me, to remind me, because I always forget to hit the record button when I come back from breaks and stuff. All right. So, Katie, did you have another question? Okay. Who else has any questions? Okay, let's go back. Okay, Beth and then Cheryl.
You know how you were teaching us about putting the scarf over it to keep your space? If you actually hit the thing where you do like this, is that stopping it or does that cover it too?
Well, what happens is you are going to go down to the bottom. You're not at the bottom for me right now because you've got your hand raised. That's another thing, ladies. When someone raises their hand, they end up right in the top row, but they will go, now she's last. She took off her hand. Now she's the dead last because she turned off her video.
Yeah.
And when there are 3 screens, then she's not in the picture at all most of the time.
Who? Say that.
If you have like 100 people,
Yes.
she would be not in your vision the rest of the conference.
Correct. All right. You can go up to 49 people per screen. But it has to be set up in the setup, and I'll show you where to do that. Otherwise, it defaults at 25. So if you're at a big event, or even if you're seeing somebody, you're at somebody's event and you don't see everybody, it's because their Zoom, it's not up to your Zoom, it's their Zoom has only got 25. Well, no, I'm going to take that back. I think you could do, we'll have to test that. If you're not the host, can you see 49 people? I think you can. No, Janine says no. I haven't tested that one. But anyway, I'll show you where it's set up. All right, let's go back to any other questions? Beth, you had one, and then let's go back up to the setup.
Okay, I was busy looking at something else when you showed how to shorten that link so that it wasn't such a big mess. Can you go back to your screen and show me how you did it?
Yes. Well, yes. Okay, see, all you have to do is take out these characters here.
Okay. And when you say take it out, does that mean copy?
Don't take it out of here. I'm talking about when you send somebody a link.
Okay. So I've copied that, I've pasted it in, and then I just shorten it.
Yeah.
By taking out the beginner stuff so that when I send it, it's not quite as large.
Correct. Okay. Correct. So let's go down. Now, here's your license type if you're ever curious. I already have the webinar version, which gives me 100. Now, I have 2 versions. You can have multiple Zooms with multiple email addresses. So I have a second one that's 500 for my large events. So I have 2 accounts, but this is the one I use the most. But only one of them is a webinar account, which is this one. The other one is just a meeting account. All right, so that's all you need to really know here. Where the magic happens, ladies, is under settings. So go over to the left, look at settings, and we'll come back to recordings once we know what our settings should look like. This is the gold right here, and how you can turn on passwords or turn them off. Now, very first thing you want to do, now go to your room. Don't try to remember all this. Go to zoom.us. Be doing it while you're with me. Now, here's the waiting rooms. Like I said, Zoom will either turn them on and turn on passwords because they want security. So you want waiting rooms turned on. So anything blue is turned on. Look at what happens. You can go doop, right? do and turn it on, turn it off. But you have to have one or the other because of security. That happened since the pandemic. Now, this is where the passcodes come in. And whoever, if you have that big long number, this is because you have passwords turned on. I would recommend you turn them off. So turn off anything that says passcode. So meeting passcode, personal ID passcode. For me, I have a webinar passcode. You probably don't. Require passcodes for participants. Turn all of that off. Your life will become easier. All right? Turn all that off. Now, embedded passcode. This is why we have that big old long code that you've seen people use. Turn off passcodes and you won't have it. All right? Only authenticated users. Don't even worry about that. That's for like larger companies that use multiple accounts. So don't even touch anything like that. Now, waiting rooms, okay? You want this to be allowed to join the meeting. You want everyone to be allowed, even people on their phone, but you will get a little notice and a little beep beep to know that someone is trying to join the meeting. Only you and the co-host will hear it because that's how I have it set up. And I'll show you where that is. Now, this is critical, scheduling a meeting. What's the difference between scheduling a meeting and an instant meeting? Instant meetings are what I sent you the link. I don't know, I hear some noise, so everybody go ahead and mute. I'm hearing something. Okay, it came, Angeline, it came from you. It was coming from you. Okay, something, maybe your computer noise. All right, so an instant meeting is when you send somebody the link. So like Beth, if you just sent a friend that link and said, here, let's jump on a meeting without it being scheduled, that is an instant meeting. A scheduled meeting is when you schedule it ahead of time. And yes, you can still use your link, but most of the time scheduled meetings do have oftentimes a new link. Most of the time you might want that because let's say it's a webinar and you want to make sure everybody registers and they don't just jump on because they have your link. So there's a reason to have, but you don't have to schedule everything. I've seen everybody go crazy because they're like, well, let me schedule. No, just send people your link. You don't have to schedule every meeting. Now, what's the advantage of scheduling meetings? You will get when you save the meeting, when Zoom saves the meeting, it will give you the name of that meeting. So if I don't schedule a meeting, like I didn't schedule this one, I just sent you my link, then it's just going to say RV Robinson's meeting. It's not going to say Zoom Mastery. But so what? I know what it is. I just rename it and I'm golden. All right. When you schedule the meeting, you want to always come in with your video. And this is something, Tori, you want to make sure that's on for you.
Okay.
That your video is on, that participants' video is on when they come in the room. If they turn it off, they turn it off. But if you notice when you come in this room, you've got a little extra screen that said come in with video or not. All right, so you're asked. Of course, you always want everybody to be able to come in by telephone and computer. Now, this is really critical. Allow participants to join before the host. That needs to be off. The only way you can use that is with passcodes, not meetings, not waiting rooms. But you never want anybody to be allowed to come in before you, the host, come in. Now, Angeline, in saying that, if for some reason you didn't want to give somebody your code and you could not meet them ahead of time, and you knew you were going to go to out of town, catch a plane or in the hospital or whatever, you could turn this on and people could come in, but you'd have to turn passwords on. That's the only way it'll work. So that's a third option. You're going to find with Zoom, there's multiple ways to do multiple things. There's not just one way. All right. So if that comes, Angeline, we could talk about which is the best way. All right. Because it's just doesn't happen very often, but I like this to be off at all times. Okay. Enable personal meeting ID. That's that ID that you saw that automatically comes up. So that's, yes, you want that on. Otherwise, if that's off, then every single time you did a meeting, you're going to have to schedule it and you're going to come up with a brand new meeting ID that even you have to remember. So not worth it. Personal ID when scheduling a meeting. So I want to use my regular ID when I schedule a meeting. Now you have your choice though. New ID, which sometimes I use, or my personal ID. You've got a choice if you turn this on. All right, use personal ID when starting an instant meeting. Remember I told you what's the difference between an instant meeting and a scheduled meeting. Instant meetings, I'm just sending you the link, just like I did for you today. If I do a scheduled meeting, oftentimes, depending on how you have it set up, you can set it up for people to register or not register ahead of time. That's up to you. But the default is to register. So you have to be careful of that as well. And I'll show you where that is. Okay, mute all participants when they first join the meeting. No, I don't want to do that. I want people to come in and go, hi, how you doing? These are setups. So when you do the setup, they are the setup for all your meetings, instant and or scheduled. You can change these. They're not set in gold, but if you wanted to change for a different meeting, you would have to change it before you started the meeting. Okay. All right. Upcoming meeting reminders. This is for you. I don't want that, right? I don't need to have any more emails than I already get, but that's up to you. Now, all these things, this one is, again, just leave it alone. It is for the Zoom. You're not going to use it's really for people with multiple client accounts, multiple meetings, like big companies and corporations. So leave that alone. Now, the chat is really important. The chat is kind of controversial now because everybody started out chit-chatting, and the chat on some meetings can really be a distraction. So you have to weigh what you want to do with your own chats and your own meetings now, or do it by meeting, and I'll show you where that is also. But I allow people to chat, but I don't let them private chat, right? Because to me, a private chat is like if you're at a networking meeting and somebody turns to your partner next to you and is talking during the meeting or during the speaker or anything like that. So I don't allow that, but that's entirely up to you if you want to allow that. I do allow people to save the chat, but I think if somebody has something to say, let's all hear it. Let's all see it. Let's all hear it. Now, people can private chat to the host or the co-host. So right now, Janine is the co-host. You could private chat to her if you wanted to, but that's the only one that people can chat to is co-host and host. Got it? That's all the only private chats if that's set up. All right. So that's up to you and your meetings and what you're trying to accomplish. All right. Okay. Now, sound. Now, this is, remember I said the co-host and myself, we will hear the ding when people come in. If you have this for everyone, everyone's going to hear the ding. If you've got 100 people coming in, it could drive people nuts. So be careful on that as well. I just have the host and co-host because if I'm going to have a co-host let people in, they need to hear that someone is dinging, kind of like ringing the doorbell to come in. All right. I also have file transfers, and I'll show you this, but if you want to give somebody a handout or a spreadsheet or whatever, you can actually do it through, or notes, right, for your meeting, you can do it through file transfer. If you don't have this available, it's because it's turned off. And I think that the default is turned off. And you can also specify files like I only want to do Word files. I only want to do Excel and maximum size. You see, I don't have those clipped. So when this is on, this means anybody can file transfer, not just me, anybody. So Angeline, we're going to do that a little bit later, and I'll have you send a flyer of your event so that everyone can see that and see the power and how this works. Okay. So just get that lined up, and I will tell you when to do that when we get to get to the board. And anybody else has something like that they want to share, we can do that. All right. Now, this feedback at the end of Zoom, I have it turned on, but I don't use it. But that is like a something where you can give feedback. If you have a problem with Zoom, you can give them feedback. Display end of meeting experience survey, that's off. But I do seminars and meetings and webinars for SCORE at Orange County, and they have that turned on. So at the end, every time I end the webinar, everybody gets a survey automatically sent to them, anybody who registered. So if that's something that you want to do, you could turn it on, but that's not something I want to do. Now, if you've ever ran into a situation where you can't do co-host, this is why, because you have it maybe perhaps turned off. Make sure that is turned on. You want to have co-pilots whenever you're conducting a meeting. They can really help you out. So Tori, a co-pilot of yours can be one of your superstar students, and they can do the breakout rooms for you, so you're not worried about that and staying in the zone. Because a lot of times as speakers, teachers and leaders, we gotta be in the zone, and to come out of that zone and be technical breaks our juju, right? It breaks our role, whatever
our channeling.
Our channeling, right? So you might want to get a superstar student that can do it for you, and just make them co-host, and then you don't have to worry about it. All right, meeting polls. This is automatically turned off most of the time. I'm going to show you a poll. This is up to you. If it's turned on, you're going to, as the host, have an extra icon at the bottom of your control bar. You're not going to see it if you're a guest, but you will see it as the host. And again, something like Angeline, if you want to do something like this, how did you like the meeting? How did you like the guest speaker? You can set up true, false, multiple choice, yes and no, and you can get a general poll of all of your attendees to see if that's, and only you see the result. They see the results of the poll if you let them, or you can keep the results to yourself. But it's just another fun thing to do. Okay, and webinar polls, that's only if you have the webinar version. You probably won't even get this. I do have the webinar version, which means I pay an extra $40 a month for 100 people and the upgrade to the webinar version. And I'll tell you what the difference is in a minute. Remind me, Cheryl, you were going to remind me of that question. All right. Same with webinar surveys if you have it. Now, this one, ladies, is one of those $1 million ideas right here. Always show meeting control bar. You have to turn that on. Otherwise, the control bar disappears on you and you're going, where's my share? How many of you have experienced that? Right, Beth? Yeah, it disappears. Turn that on and it'll never disappear on you. All right, Beth, is that $1 million idea? Yeah. It just, I don't know why they have this defaulted as off, but they do. Okay.
Harvey, I have learned about 50 new ideas already.
Good. All right. So now here's your screen sharing. Now, who can screen share? I have host only. I used to have all participants. I run a couple of networking meetings. And one day early on, all of a sudden, somebody, as they were introducing themselves, their 30-second, took control of my screen and shared their website or whatever they shared. I mean, it was before I even knew what was happening. It was done. So that's why I turned that off. So they hijacked my screen. So it's all or nothing. So the host, only I can share, but I can give permission to people to share. That's their PowerPoint or whatever, by making them what?
Co-host.
Co-host, absolutely. And you can have only one co-host, right?
No, you can have multiple.
Multiple.
Yes.
You can?
Yes, I could make every single one of you a co-host if I wanted to. All right? So,
just don't steal the screen.
Yeah, just don't steal the screen. Don't hijack the screen. But yeah, so that, but that, again, that's entirely up to you. All right. Now, if all participants are on, you can have this on. I don't know why this is out. This is something that Zoom did. They have it off. But I think if I turn this on, let me see. Yeah, that turns on. Okay. So who can
What-
start
what-
sharing the screen when someone else is sharing? Multiple people can share the screen if you want them to do that. I don't want them to do that. You know, if it was a company or business, yes, go ahead.
Okay, so where it says who can share and I checked host only, I turned on screen sharing and checked host only, and then it says who can start sharing when someone else is sharing, and it says host only, but it's grayed out, but it looks like it's blue. That's correct.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
exactly what you want.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Good. All right. So disable desktop screen sharing for meetings, you host. Yeah, just that'll automatically go gray if this is here. Okay. So these little guys, all right. Now, nobody really uses these, but I'll show you when we do the whiteboard. Nobody really uses the whiteboard. Why? Because it makes you look like you're 5 years old and screen scratching. Well, these little guys are little stars or little hearts that you can put on the screen. Whether it's, you could put it on any screen. They're fun. If you have kids you're teaching, they would come into play. But otherwise, I don't find them of much use at all. But I'll show you where they are, and you can be the judge of that. All right, but I turn it on. What the heck? Whiteboard, again, not very many people use the whiteboard. I'll show you what that is. You might find a use for it. I'll show you a different tool today, though, that I use for a whiteboard. Some of you seen it, my document camera. And I use that because I have more control than the whiteboard. The whiteboard's just too, like I said, I look like I'm 5 years old trying to write, trying to chicken scratch something. Okay, you don't need remote control. That's for bigger companies. Verbal feedback, everybody, we all know what those are. That's the little hearts and the little things like that. And same with the reactions. The difference is these used to be, I don't think they're there anymore, but yes, slow down, speed up. There, when you click on the person's name, participants, and then they're over to the right. People couldn't see that. So now they've added the raised hand in the reactions so people can see it. And we're going to play with that in just a little bit. All right. Trust me, we're going to play with that. It's a lot of fun. Okay. All right. Now, here's what's important. Allow remove participants to rejoin. I have that off. That's why, Janine, when you wanted to, have Tori removed, I have this off so she couldn't rejoin ever. All right. Or maybe a new meeting if it was a new meeting ID. Why? Because we want to only use that if we get trolls into our meeting. We get a lot of less trolls now with passwords and with meeting rooms, because if you don't recognize somebody, you just don't let them in the meeting. And I'm telling you, there's nothing worse. And they mainly did this because schools, these people were coming in and saying nasty things and just being, mean. And you know what? We used to have that in the teleclass day. I don't know if you remember teleclasses, but we would get those that people would come in and they would start screaming and just, being real disruptive. So it's not new. If any of you have done, what's that one? Oh God. Anyway, those other kind of online mediums, Periscope, they get trolls too. So trolls are, everywhere, but this is a way to get, keep them out. All right. So allow participants to rename themselves. I have that on. Some people have that off and I don't know why, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll give you a chance to do that. Hide participants' profile pictures in the meeting. Now, if someone came in and you didn't want their profile picture when they turn off their video, you could turn this on and you would only see their name, but I don't see what benefit that is, so mine is off. All right, now we're in the meeting If you want to report something to Zoom, like you had a troll, you could do that. While you're in the meeting, you could do that. Q&A and webinars, I have that turned on. I'll show you the difference in a minute. Breakout rooms, if you don't have breakout rooms and you're the host, it's because this has not been turned on. Make sure you have that turned on.
Do we need to put the check underneath it that allow hosts to assign participants to break rooms?
No, because you get your choice when you do it. You can have the system automatically, which is what I like to use because I don't want, people getting upset. Or sometimes I've been where I had to select and put mentors in a room. So then you create your own rooms. Or number 3, now this is a brand new feature, ladies. You can pick your own breakout room. If you're in a breakout room and you don't like it, you can exit out and go into another breakout room. So we will try that today so that you can do it. Yeah, as long as it's turned on to do that, you can do that. So it's really fun.
I was at a conference yesterday and they did that. You could select the room you wanted to go into, and the host could give that person the authority to record in that room.
Okay, well, that's a new feature. Let's try that. I didn't know about I still think the recording has to give that. Well, we'll try it. We'll try it because
let's put it this way. They did it.
I think that
And
they probably made that person the host. And
they made them a co-host, giving them the authority to record inside that room.
Yeah, but I wonder if you could have multiple. We'll try that. We're going to do that and we will try that today. All right. So we're almost done with all this good stuff. Okay.
Arby, I have a question so you recommend under the breakout room to turn it on, but you do not want to check in for allow host to assign participant?
Yeah, we don't need that because you're going to get the ability to assign anyway.
Oh.
If you click on that, Angeline, if you click on that, then you have to assign all the time. You cannot let the computer assign for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that means only you can do it. So I like to have the choice. Sometimes I let the computer do it. Sometimes, I do it. It depends on the event and how many people are in the room.
Oh, okay.
And
so that is not how I thought when I click allow. So okay.
No, take that off. Yeah, because it's a lot faster just to let the computer do it. And then you can tell people, look, I'm not doing it. I'm not prejudiced. I'm not.
Oh, yes. Good idea. Because I remember in one meeting, I was with the same person and we laughed. And then the host said, well, I did not assign that. That was the computer. So people cannot say, well, I did it on purpose just to
that's right.
People, yeah.
That's right. But
that's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. But as the host, if I see one room has 5 people and one room has 3 people, I can take person out of that 5-person room and stick them into the 3-person room, making 4 and 4.
Okay.
You can still do that, even if you assign.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the beauty. All right, we're almost done with this. All of these are pretty much Zoom choices. You see, we have no choice. Now, yes, Katie.
On that remote support.
Yes.
I often have somebody who's like a technical wizard come in and take over my computer to help me get stuff done. Is that what this is? Because I have mine on. Allow remote support.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a clue because I don't use it. So Katie, I don't know. I just think it would take too much bandwidth, and I thought it was more for larger companies, but I don't know how that works.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Look into that and get back with us next Saturday. Yeah, because I don't know. I've always had it turned off and never really wanted it, never needed that kind of support for myself. So,
Okay.
but some people might. All right.
Thank you.
and of
I
course,
have a question. Oh,
of course, this
sorry.
caption, if you are, now Katie, this is something you might want turned on for your
I
blind
do.
people.
I do.
Now, with the captions, if you do turn it on, ladies, it's going to be for everything. It's going to be for everybody. So what you're going to see is everybody talking, which can be a distraction. I have been in rooms and found it highly distracting. But if you have hearing impaired people you're working with, or visually, well, even visually impaired, maybe not so good, but hearing impaired, then that is an option to use so that they can read it. Okay.
Harvey, can I ask a question right here? Because, I lecture and I'm paying someone after I finish my lecture to type it all up for my participants. If I put the caption possibly when I'm lecturing, do you think then I could type from that when I'm looking at the video? I'm thinking.
You certainly can.
Yes.
You're still going to want someone to kind of edit it to make sense, because
You're right.
everybody
Yeah.
speaks like stops and starts and and so it still will need edited. But
You're
again,
right.
you're going to get all the participants are going to see all of it. It could be a distraction,
Right.
and it could be a distraction for you when you're channeling and you're in the zone.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I would just recommend you do what you're doing.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, I want to change my first name because I don't go by Linda Nakatani.
I know. I'm going to teach you how to do that in 1 minute.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, let me answer the questions. Go ahead, Janine. Go ahead.
Yeah, what is a caption?
Okay, so let me show you. I will turn it on. It is, and then you can, like this, save those captions. Where is it? Those captions. Okay, so now every time. Okay, so now when I go, you're going to see me talk. Let me finish all this. Okay, so virtual backgrounds, you have to have that on if you're going to use it. Even if you want to load up your own, you have to have that on. Filters is a new feature. I'm going to show you what that is. That's a lot of fun. Janine is using the filter. That's why her background is same with Katie. They're using one of those video filters, and that's why their background is
Blurred.
blurry. That's a
I
feature.
can't get mine to blur. Mine isn't blurry.
Okay, you maybe don't have the upgraded version. You have to have the option. I'll show you. Okay, so let's just finish this and then we'll go to the front screen. Okay, so all of these can virtually be off. They don't do anything, but this live stream now, I think, who was it? Was it Janine that said she wanted no, you were pulled.
Yes. Yeah, I was asking.
Okay, so make sure this is turned on for multiple live stream a meeting. Now, note, ladies, that it takes a lot of bandwidth. All right, so you have to make sure you're on a computer really close to the internet, otherwise it's going to create that stop and start kind of thing sometimes. So I recommend you practice like with maybe one person, and you do it to a group on Facebook or whatever before you try to do it for multiple people on a bigger 1 hour meeting. Okay. All right. So that's basically the setup. The rest of it is email notifications. That's entirely up to you. I have them all on. These are some emails that I do want to see. All right. So look at that. And then don't worry about the other stuff. That's just
Harvey, I got lost back when you said allow the Facebook. Can you go back to that one? I'm just trying to follow it back and forth.
allow live stream meetings. I have two because I have the webinar version. So
Okay, let me see if I can find that. I didn't see it on mine. Okay.
if you have a free version, you're not going to see it.
I don't. I pay for it, so that's why I'm.
Good girl.
You have to enable it first before it shows up.
Well, you have to go to this screen, yes, or you're not gonna get it on your toolbar.
Okay. And I've done it before, but I don't remember how I did it. So I got lost. So let me just identify guest participants.
This is at the very end. You're under settings.
I'm under settings. Okay, I do have Facebook and YouTube. Yes, okay, I found it. I've got that done.
Okay. And
And you said the rest is just emails? Oh,
Yeah,
emails.
the rest is emails, right? So I just turn all of them on. I just don't care if my trash has been deleted. Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you where that is. So let's go. That's the setup. Now, remember I said I'm going to stop my share. Remember I said there's multiple ways to do something. So that's the basic setup. Now I don't know why I think my captions, I should be getting captions. Probably not, because I turned that on after the meeting is going. So we're not going to see it. Okay. But what, Katie?
There are two options. One is a third-party option, and one is the computer, and you may have the third-party option. You may have clicked on
Captions?
under captions. There's a choice, and it defaults to third-party, and you may have just fallen into that rather than you doing it. It's allow use of captions with a third party, or enable live transcription service to show transcript on the side panel in meeting.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah. And then it may show it.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't want it, so I'm not real thrilled about it right now either. So let me stop my share and see if it does it. No, see, it's not going to do it because it wasn't on when I started the meeting, but I have seen it work. Okay, let's continue. We got a lot, but thank you, Katie. Okay, now here's for the fun stuff. Anybody ready for the fun stuff? Okay, first we're going to do your rename, and some people know it already and some people don't. As a guest, everything that you have control over is up in your upper right-hand corner next to your mute button. Those three little stars, three little periods. Go ahead and click on that, and at the bottom you'll see rename. So go ahead. Why don't we all put an inspirational message in there for everybody? And Janine is really good at this. I learned this from Janine. So let's see.
Sorry,
don't
I did not see it. Where is it?
Where are the three dots? I know I'm not.
It's on your screen right next to your mute button.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that.
So
And what do you want us to do there?
the little
Oh, okay. I saw rename.
click on that and go to rename, which is the very last option.
Oh,
let's see.
So Tori, you can rename your real name, but also Tori, you can change your name in your profile of your, and it will be permanently changed.
Okay, can you repeat that? I'm on that arrow next to my mute thing. Where do I go next?
You don't go to the arrow, you go to, okay, this is a screen. This is like a TV box, right, that we're in.
Mhm.
The upper right-hand corner of your TV box. That's where the three dots are.
I don't have that. Isn't that strange? I have a
No, I
view.
see yours. I see yours. It's in your picture only.
Yeah,
it's in-
in your TV
The
box.
right corner, in the right corner.
Where it says mute?
Next to the mute, you should have three dots.
I'm having difficulty also. I'm on a Mac. Does that make a difference? Because my mute button is on the left bottom.
Okay, then it could make a difference. Look at your mute button on the left bottom.
If you click on your picture, okay,
Mhm.
it should be three buttons up at the top, on the top right side.
Yeah, but she's on a Mac is what she's saying.
No, I'm on the Mac too, and that's what I have. But
Okay.
it's in your picture only, not in the whole big screen. It's in the toolbar.
We're done with the Zoom setup. So get out of your setup right now.
Okay.
If I go into my name and down in the left-hand corner and I right click, I get a rename.
Okay, that's another way to do it. Very good. You know what? Because let me see that.
That's true. Yeah, if you click.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Alice, come back to your screen. Look
Right.
at your picture.
I am. Oh, on my picture. Okay.
Look at yourself.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. And the upper
I'm
right.
clicking on you. I'm clicking on you on your picture.
You're not-
I'm clicking you for me. That's what I'm doing.
Well, we do look alike. Okay, so
Okay.
now click on your picture. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Jeanette, did you get it? Okay, so put in an inspirational message or change your name and I'll know you have it. Oh, look at what Karen put. All right. Okay.
Arvi, I noticed that I changed mine and it shows, but I guess when I see it in with my computer, I put like I just put action coach after my name, right? But
Yeah.
I only see Angeline Benjamin ... So I guess it's too long.
Okay, no, we see it. Okay, it's because I see
Ah.
it. Your computer screen is smaller than mine.
Oh, I have a 32 inches, a 34 inches screen.
Well, you should see your hoping. I see your hoping. I see you are all awesome ladies. I see everything. The time that you can't see it is if the more people that are on. So if we had 50 people, we could not see Action Coach.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
yeah, but if you have a 32-inch screen, you should see everybody's message. Okay, now, when this is important, ladies, because a lot of people will put something like Action Coach. But if you're in a strange room where people don't know you, like go in the chat and put in a chat, whatever you want, just say hi, everyone. You will see that it comes up without your name, right? It'll say it's from I Am Love. It'll say it is from You Are Awesome Lady. So when you're in a new networking environment, don't do that because people don't know who it came from, right? Especially with 50 or more people or 200 people. Always keep your name and put it a dash and whatever you want extra. You could say, look and feel and be younger after your name, Beth.
Yes.
Always use your full name because people are going to look for you on social media. And if you just put Beth, look younger, be younger, they're not going to know how to find you.
There.
So
Yes.
bingo,
Yeah.
right? $1 million.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So always use your name in this environment, in those kind of meetings, so people can find you on social media. Because if they can't chat privately with you, they'll find you if they want to know more.
Yeah, and Arvi, just to let you know too, especially when I conduct a meeting, when I ask somebody or wanting to draw somebody, I don't know their name, because they put phone number or they put code something.
Right.
And it's hard for me to ask them, okay, what's your name or who are you? And I really don't know who are you, especially when you put somebody in the waiting room.
Agree. Very good. Thank you.
Right? So because you really don't know whether you want to allow this person in or not, because I really don't know who you are.
That's right. See, that's speaking from the host's point of view. Right.
Yes.
All right. So let's all change it back. Now, Alice, did you find it? You did. Okay. So let's change it back to your name. So everybody can again get to know you and know your name. And again, you can put whatever coach you are afterwards if you want. I always put speaker trainer. I tried master speaker trainer, but I didn't have room and then people couldn't see the speaker trainer part. Right?
Oh, yes.
Cut off to ... eventually.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's really important when you're networking. All right. So go ahead, Angel. I know you're happy. I love that. You're muted.
I'm trying to put it back and now I don't know how. I don't remember how I got there.
Okay, because you're on a phone. It's a little trickier on the phones.
Yes.
Okay, good. Tori, now we know who you are. Great. Good job, Tori.
Thank you.
And again, let me just share my screen real quick. If you want to change that permanently, Tori, you go to your zoom.us and you go to profile and you change it right here. You go edit and change it right here. Do you see that?
Well, every time
Arby, every time you click on your screen, my screen gets blank.
Oh,
So-
okay. All right. Well, then I'll just tell you.
Okay.
Go to zoom.us and go to profile, and you can permanently change your picture. You can permanently change your name dash, whatever coach or whatever you want after your name. And
Oh,
that way
thank
you
you.
don't have to do it every time. I've been in meetings where they don't allow you to change your name,
Oh, wow.
So I mean, it's all up to the host and how they set
Right.
it up. And it could be an accident, who knows? All right, let's continue. All right, so now we are at the control bar. All of you changed it so the control bar won't disappear. If it does disappear, you have to hover to get it to pop up. So we're going to go along the control bar now. Before we do though, does anybody need a T and P break? What I call T and P? A little
just-
5 minute.
Yes,
I got to grab water.
yeah, that's a good idea.
5 minutes, because we have at least another hour. And if you want to go longer, we can go a little bit longer. Katie, yes, did you have something?
I have a Zoom. People are expecting me to facilitate a Zoom. And I need to do that in about 15 minutes. So when I've learned a lot, I didn't plan to not be there. So I will be there in spirit with all of you.
Okay, and you know what? You're going to hear the recordings, and let me make sure, let me make sure we got though. You want breakouts. Well, let's
Yeah.
do a little breakout before we take our P and T break, shall we?
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about breakouts. They're so important. Now, when you're the host, I'm going to make all of you co-hosts so you can see what it's like to do the breakouts. Got it? But you won't do the breakouts because then everybody would be out of control. But but I'll make you all co-hosts so you can do that real quick. Make co-host, yes. Make Karen, make co-host, yes. And that way you'll see the bottom of the screen. Yes, Cheryl.
How did you make people co-hosts? How are you doing that?
Okay. I'm going into each of your squares. In the upper right-hand corner of the square, the 3 little dots. As a host, I have more features. So now as I make you co-host, go to those 3 dots. You'll see you have more features. Not all the ones I have as host, but more of them than you had before. All right? But just don't do any of them. So go and look. All right. So Beth, you're co-host. Alice, you're now co-host. Luana, you're co-host. Tori, you're co-host. So now go in the upper right-hand digits. And I think I already made, and now Michelle co-host. Alice, and I don't know how to look on your phone out. Angel, I don't know how to look, but we'll
Okay.
co-host anyway.
You got me. I'm there.
All right, good. And Janine, co-host, and okay. All right. So all of you are co-hosts. And now you should be able to see.
Co-hosts?
Yeah, you're co-host. Now go in the upper right-hand corner. Do you see more options? Yes, than you used to have, like Spotlight and some of that. And all right.
No, I don't have them.
You don't.
I have the same ones I had before.
Okay. I don't know why, because you're co-host. Sorry. Maybe it's because you're on a Mac.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, Ivy, sorry, I just got back from my break. Did you just show people how to add the people's name in the co-host? I missed that.
No, you're co-host.
Oh, okay. How do I add people's name into the co-host?
Okay. As co-host, you cannot make other people co-host. Only the host. Now, as the host, I'll make you host, but Katie has to leave right now. So we're just doing the co-host right now. Then I'll show you how to make co-hosts. But you have to be the host to make co-hosts. Co-host can't make other co-hosts.
Right.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're doing now, all of you should see the breakout room at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Jeanette, yes.
Am I co-host? I don't see.
Yes, you're co-host.
Okay.
Now, as a co-host, you should see breakout rooms at the bottom that you didn't see. Is that right?
No,
Okay.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
Well, Tori, maybe
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah.
Mhm.
at the very bottom, it's over on the left-hand side. It's a little 4 squares and it says breakout rooms.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. If you have on a Mac, maybe you don't see it.
Oh, I see it.
Okay.
I
Now
just see hide self view on mine.
you have hide what?
Hide self view. I'm doing on the top right hand corner, those 3.
No, don't look at the top right-hand corner anymore. Now look at the bottom control bar.
Oh, the control bar.
Control bar at the bottom. It should say breakout.
Yes, yes, I see it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Now, everybody, don't do anything, don't create, but I want all of you to go to, and I don't know if we can all do it at the same time, but click on that button. You're going to see 3 things. Assign breakout rooms, right? Do you see those?
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful. All right. So now I'm going to let Katie do it. Okay. Because that was one of her things she wanted to learn. And we're going to do what Luana said real quick. And that is, how do we record? All right. So Katie, break us in. We have 13. I'll just join a room. Now, when you're the host, ladies, you do not go into a room automatically. You have to join a room if you want to be in a room. Got it?
Oh, but can you go in and out any room as a host?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I have 4 breakout rooms assigned automatically and I create. And when I click on create, will everybody all of a sudden disappear?
Yes, including you. I'm the only one that won't disappear. So then when you're in the breakout rooms, ladies, pick one person to do a record and let's test that what Luana said is possible. And then I'll join one of you.
But you as the host has to decide on that person because you've got to give them the authority to do the recording.
You're all co-hosts, honey. You all have the rights.
Yep, that's right. Sorry.
No, that's okay. This is good. It drills it down to a deeper level. Good, good, good. All right, Katie, take it away.
Okay, open all rooms. Now, are you how come it didn't go?
It's going. It's going, Katie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now because you assigned them, you're not automatic. Okay, so
Okay.
go ahead and I'll assign you to a room. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna.
Room 4.
Four.
Because room 4 only has 2.
You got it, Katie. You got it. All right. See you in a minute. All right. So now we got Angel. Okay, Angel, how come you're not in a room? It's
because it's on the phone and I'm having a little difficulty, but I did find it. And then I saw something that said breakout room 2 or breakout room 2.
That's where you're supposed to join.
Okay. Let's see if I can go back and find it again.
Why don't I just move you to another room?
Okay.
Might be faster. Okay. I'm going to put you in room 1.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
I live in Queen Creek, Arizona.
Okay.
All righty. So,
Oh, RV. So as a host, you just jump into all the different rooms.
yeah. So let's test the theory of being able to record. So, Angeline, why don't you try to record?
Yeah, I was able to do that. What happened?
Okay. So.
Oh, sorry.
no longer
I
see
hit
that.
record. There we have the answer. Only one
right
person
now
can
is
record.
Yeah, right now it's recording, RV.
Well, I was already, okay, so it's recording this session. Okay.
Yes. So I tested. I was able to do that. So I'm just going to stop it.
Yeah, and I'm recording as well.
That is wild.
But RV, I think now, if someone can ask you for permission without being a co-host to record on their own computer, because on other Zoom calls, that's all I have to do. Can I record? They give me permission and I can record a session on my own computer without being a co-host.
Okay, let me try that. As far as I know, with multiple people, you can. Is that a single person event?
No, this is where we were 10 people on the call and some of us want to.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. I know what you mean. You're right. I made everybody co-host because of breakout sessions, not because
No,
of.
no, I know that, but I'm saying without being co-host, all you have to do is ask permission and you can have everybody record the session on their own.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna in the breakout room.
Fabulous.
I just don't know what to do.
All right, very
Okay.
cool.
What do we do with our recordings though? Because I just watched it.
Well, they end up, did you get asked whether it was going to be on your computer or not?
No.
Okay. See, I'm not sure how that works because I'm recording the whole session.
Yeah.
Okay. So Janine just reminded me of something. You can record without being a co-host, but I made you all co-host because that's how you have to see the breakout session. It wasn't for you to record. If you're doing a session like now, I could just I could give you permission to record, but as far as I know, I can't record also. And I don't want to mess up this recording. But I give my students permission to record. This is what I said at the beginning of the call, every single time. But they record on their computer.
That's so smart.
Yeah. And that way they have their own recording of our session.
We're out of the breakout room.
Yeah, so you can just give them permission when you have the host, so like if I want to give Janine permission, she can ask for permission to record, or I could give her permission. But see, I don't see it now because I'm recording. I only see that when I'm not recording. All right, got it?
Okay.
So
Only one person can record at a time.
as far as I'm concerned, yes, especially in the main session. Now you're all saying you can record. That's a new feature if it is in breakouts. So we'll see we'll see. Now, I don't know because I'm recording the whole thing if you can. So that all of you that recorded, you're going to have to report back to us next Saturday.
Okay, okay.
Whether or not that worked, because you're not going to see the recording till we end. And yes, Katie, aloha.
It's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Bye,
And
Katie.
you ladies are magnificent. And I will look forward to seeing you next week.
Next
Have a good one.
Aloha.
Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, so perfect. So let's take that 5-minute T&P break and
Okay.
again, cover your video so you don't lose your place. All right.
Oh, now it's the P. Oh, okay. I did it too quick then.
Yeah, you can, well, we changed because Katie had to leave.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You can mute yourself though and not lose your place.
Okay.
Okay, resume recording. All right, we just had a quick break. We're going along the toolbar now. Now you're all still co-hosts, so you should pretty much see what I see. Maybe not everything, but pretty much. So, and this is what you will see, not as a guest, but as a host. So the first thing you should see is security with a shield, right? Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, just click on that. Don't change anything, but let me explain what it is. Okay, so this is where I can change some of these things that I changed in my settings on the fly. So I watch what happens. I'm going to turn off the chat, right? If I turn off the chat, none of you can chat. It's what we call chat freeze. Now, when this comes into play is when a speaker is speaking and you don't want somebody to be, because they're just doing it because they're not paying attention, even though they're going, oh, great.
Oh, good idea, because I need to know where that's because I noticed that when there is a speaking engagement, I like people to pay attention to the speaker. And I noticed that people were chatting all the way throughout the speaking engagement. So we can turn off the chat during speaking engagement?
Yes.
Oh,
What's
wow,
that, Arby?
awesome.
Okay, where are we? We're right at the shield. You're going to click on security. Now, when you
Right.
click on security, you're going to get a whole nother menu. When you are the host. So I let you all be the host temporarily, so you'll see what I see. And that little chat is how you can see. I have my chat. It's checked, right?
Yes.
So that if I uncheck it, it will be chat freeze, and none of you will be able to do the chat.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
So I'm going to freeze the chat. Now go to the chat, all of you, and try to type in something. I am the only one that can type in something.
Okay.
All of you, well, I take that back. You're all co-hosts. You might be able to. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I'm able to do that. I'm able to do that.
Because you're co-host.
Arby, you said hit the
Okay.
shield on the right.
You are on the left, on the shield, security. On the left.
Upano at the bottom.
You're
Share.
off the toolbar, Cheryl. Sorry, you might have been out of the room. Look at your bottom toolbar, the one that has screen share and all that.
Yes.
Yes, I see breakout rooms.
No, go over to the left. Over there.
Oh, the left, my other left. Okay.
Your other left. So
Yeah.
you see security, just click on there. I'm just talking about the features. All right.
Oh.
That's when you're the host. Remember, you're the co-host right now. So I'm showing you the host capability. All right. So you can change the chat. You can change the screen share.
Oh, so to change it, you just hit the check mark?
Yes, but don't do it right now.
Okay.
Okay. This is how you can stop people from renaming themselves if they go a little crazy at it, right? Maybe some people are going a little too far. You can stop them. Again, you can, right now it's clicked on unmute themselves. I'm letting people unmute themselves. But like Angeline, maybe you have this big meeting and you want everyone to stay muted because people are making noise or they're interrupting or talking. You can totally take that off and they cannot unmute themselves until you put it back on.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, start video is on, which is everybody's video. You want to leave that on. This is how you can quickly remove a participant.
Yay.
If you get that troll, you don't have to go back to the setup as long as the setup is like you can remove. If you click on that, then you'll find the participant's name, whatever name, everybody still comes in with a name, even though it might say ABC or FU or whatever, and you can find them and remove them.
How can you find them?
I click
by hitting the remove.
Disappear.
Go to remove participants and you'll see a search bar screen.
Let's see.
Or you could always click on participants and find them that way.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And then you can suspend anybody's activities. Again.
If you have a large room, when that person comes in, are they at the very end? Like, how would you find them? Like, if you've got 100 people and that you've got that troll,
they're the
how would you find them
person
quickly?
because they're the person in the chat that is saying nasty things. So their name or weird name or nobody can come in without some name. They can't come in blank. They can come in anonymous or they can come in ABC, screw you, whatever, but they have to have something. So you can, in the chat, you can even click on them and then know their name and then remove it.
Okay, I have a question. Is that the part where I can X out one of the students that want to just kind of eavesdrop?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yay.
Or you don't want them to be part of it, but they're just kind of hanging out.
Yes.
Yes, you can boot them. And they
Okay.
can't come back in for that meeting. They
Good.
might be able to come in for another meeting you have, but not that one.
Okay,
Unless
good.
you permanently get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay,
So,
So
one
Arby,
last
I have,
thing.
I have a questions on when you have a presentation and the presenter said, you know, if you have questions, let me know during the meeting. How would you allow somebody to ask questions during your meeting? I mean, during your presentation, if the presenter allow that? Because I noticed that they do that through chat. So if we turn off the chat, then how can you allow the participant to ask questions when
They
the
have-
presenter
to
says
do
you
it-
can do that?
They have to do it verbally. So you have to
Ah,
mute themselves or keep everybody unmuted.
oh, okay.
The
Okay.
chat, once it's frozen, you can unfreeze it, but you'd have to unfreeze it every time someone wanted to ask questions. But just encourage your speaker either to hold up on the questions, because just tell them ahead of time, listen, you know, which would you rather? Do you want everybody listening to you, or do you want them talking behind your back? Because if we were at a live event, that's like me, you know, me and Beth talking, blah, 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 while Tori is speaking, and we're just going blah, 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 carrying on a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Not really paying attention, but maybe looking every once in a while and going, oh, good job, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, I've seen that a lot in the meeting.
It's happening a lot more nowadays than ever before.
Yes.
There's a
It
lot
even
of,
bothers me when people are chatting to everyone while somebody's trying to talk, because
Mhm.
it's distracting and you're trying to
Yeah.
pay attention to the speaker.
right, it's distracting. Thank you. Yeah, for you.
Yes,
it's-
I
you're
agree.
not
It
even
is
chatting.
very distracting. And to me, it's not it's
Distracting.
disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what you can do is just let people know, look at where you come in the meeting, go in the chat, tell us where you're from, tell us what you do. You can do all that. And once the speaker starts, I'm freezing the chat. And then you just freeze it. So you let them know what's happening. And they probably won't mind because they got it all out.
Yes. And then after the presentation, then you unfreeze it.
Turn it back on. Yeah.
Turn it back on. Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
And they can ask their questions in the chat then.
Right.
That's right. After the meeting, you can answer the questions in the chat. Yes, Karen, you had a question.
On like the security feature, like the first one, it says lock meeting. What does that mean?
The first one says lock the meeting. That would totally lock up. Let's try it. I'm not going to go. Oh, no one else can join. All right. So if you lock the meeting, no one else can join. So don't exit anybody. I've never done that before. I thought it would give me another, you know, are you sure? It doesn't. Once you lock the meeting, you're locked. But I think I can unlock it. Let me unlock it. There you go. It's unlocked. Okay. So you could, so again, Tori, maybe that's something you'll use for once people come in, once you do your meditation or whatever, you don't want people to come in during that.
Right.
Lock it up and then open it up later.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arby, how do you prevent, and this is happening in the beginning of my Zoom meeting, and some people actually freak out and they did not want to participate in Zoom because they think that their computer is being hacked. What happened in one of my meetings that I enabled the waiting room and I did not have the password. And what happened, somebody, I don't know who tried to hack in, and all this noise like that. And you know what? Half of my participant, my attendee, walk out.
Wow.
Yes. And so it's just, and they think that, oh, they said that my computer is getting hacked. And I said, no. So what I did is I just removed that because I know who it is, because it doesn't have the ID.
Yeah, it was one of those trolls.
Yeah, trolls. So I just removed them and I said, no, your computer is not hacked. But they actually got out. They did not want to come in because they think that their computer is being hacked. And I try to explain to them, no, this person is trying to come into the Zoom. So that's why I have a password because of that.
No, but here's what I recommend. Somehow they got your number because I never hacked and I've been on since 2015.
Wow.
But now you're telling me, so one time I was in a meeting when you got hacked and now you're telling me you got hacked again. You might want to change your meeting ID.
Okay. No, since I had password, I never had that problem anymore.
Okay, well, or you could change your meeting ID.
Oh.
Yeah, passwords are fine, but a lot of people get frustrated. I don't know. I've been frustrated because I didn't know the password, but I knew the meeting ID and, you know, so.
But how about when you are charging, like you're charging people, right, to come in. And then for some reason they know that this, because sometimes I'm attending the meeting and they said, please keep this ID to yourself because this ID it's too specific to you. Do not share it with anybody else, specific to you. Is that true? You can set it up that way?
No, they're just saying that it's not specific for you. It's for their meeting and it's specific for you, the host. But no, like this is my normal meeting. So this is the same number I use for my coaching. I got a mastermind meeting on Monday. It's the same number, right? But if you try to come and see me on Monday, I would let you in and said, I'm sorry, Jeanette, this is my private. And you'd go, oh, okay, and leave. I mean, so most of us would do that. So I can use the same meeting number and I don't worry about it. But let's say my big event, $1 Million Speaker Summit, that I have a lot of strangers coming. I schedule the meeting and it's the new unique ID for that one-time purpose only.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like for your meetings, Angelina, I'd recommend, for your meetings, you have the same ID number. So your members always have that number and they don't have to scurry and try to find it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you could set up a reoccurring meeting and that way it doesn't have to be your instant meeting ID, but it's reoccurring. You could set it up for a year and say for the next year, this is the number we're always going to use. Vote.
But don't you find out that some people that because they know your past, your ID and stuff like that, because I charge for people to come into my meeting, okay? So then because they have your ID, they just come in without paying.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not cool.
I know, but I had that experience.
Well, I would question those members.
Yeah.
Okay.
Members you want. Okay. So for you, maybe you have to set up a reoccurring meeting. But yeah, they only get it when they pay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, there's no easy way.
I have a statement, I guess. But if you make them use the admit, if you're admitting them into the meeting, if they didn't pay, you just don't admit them into the meeting.
That'll work too.
Yeah.
That's why I said having a waiting room now, and then I can see, all the people that has registered. And if somebody come in, is not registered, then maybe I can text them and say, I did not see you registered.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So
Or
I can do it that way.
Or if they're a good friend of yours, because that happened to me. I didn't register. I thought I did. And I'm like, where's my code?
Yeah. And exactly. And so because you're a trusted person, I just let you in. And then later on you have a conversation. I didn't see you register. You see what I mean? But there's sometimes some people I don't even know who they are and they just come in.
Yeah, you've got to take care of. Okay, so we better move on. Hopefully none of you have that problem. Yes. Okay, I got, Beth and Angel, your hand's still up. Do you have a question or?
No, I'm trying to put it down now.
Okay.
I just was going to ask about remove participant and suspend participant activity. What does that mean?
Okay, so remove, that's what we've been talking about, Beth, is when you get a troll, someone.
Okay, but see, remove them permanently or just suspend them?
You remove them from this meeting. The suspend participants activities is for everybody.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
Click on that, you're gonna see everybody's video and audio will be turned off. Screen sharing stopped and the meeting will be locked. Right? So that's like, maybe that's like if you have a lot of trolls or everybody's out of control, you just like, lock out everything and everybody from doing anything. You still will have a meeting like this, you'll still see everybody, but everybody stop for a minute. Maybe you need to make an announcement or something. Most of that stuff's like for meetings, like big corporate meetings, that have a lot of, different kind of activity. Okay, let's keep going because we still have a lot to do. Okay, so the next, after security, you see participants. Again, all of you can see, even when you're not a co-host, you can see all participants. Got it?
uh-huh.
Now, even as host, though, I can ask to unmute you, but I can't unmute you. I can't make you turn on your video. I wish they gave hosts those rights, but they don't. Zoom, you reserve all privacy rights as an individual. Always. Okay? All right. So, but you can mute all. So I could mute all of you, but I can't unmute. Right? So if I mute you and I say yes, all right, I don't have any way to unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. So that's the trick. I can mute all of you, and then you can unmute yourself. So I've had people where I've been speaking and I've muted everybody, and then they keep unmuting themselves and talking, or we hear the noise. I keep muting them, they keep unmuting. So it's crazy, but that's what's going on. All right. The next one you should see is polls. That's how you can set up a poll. A poll is just like almost like a quiz or a survey. All right. Does everybody see the poll? Hit poll. Does everybody see my little poll there? That's a little one I set up. Now, here's what you need to know about polls. You only are allowed 10 questions. That's all. There's a limit, 10. Okay. So let me launch the poll and then you guys take the poll. All right. Let me launch it. All right. So now all of you should be able to take the poll. Can you take it? Do you see it? Okay. I just want to make sure as co-host that you could. There's only 2 questions, so answer the questions.
I can't.
You can't?
No.
Okay, Michelle, I'm going to test you. I'm going to take you off of co-host. Might be because you're co-host. Now see if you can't take it. Now you can take it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not going to take you all off and put you back on because you're still running down the thing, but that's something to know. So go ahead and take the poll, Michelle, and then we'll all see it. Beautiful. So now, can you all see the poll?
Yes.
Should be all see it? She did 100%.
Yes.
That's what happens. Now I can share the results with all of you. Boom. Now you all see it again, right? Okay. So it's really pretty cool. But now what? We all got an important lesson. Co-hosts don't get to do the poll. So that's important lesson. I've never made everybody co-host, before. So, but that's cool. Okay, so those are fun. I wanted you to see my bar. Otherwise, I'm just talking about the bar. We all know what the chat is. We've been there, done that. Now, we all know what share screen is. Been there, done that. And the next one is pause the recording. You all should see the recordings now, right? Okay. Remember, you can do the recording on your laptop or on your computer or on the cloud. I've got to go into my computer. Breakout rooms. Okay. And we all know about reactions, right? Okay. Now, the more button is where you find the Facebook Live and live on YouTube. So, Janine, I hope you're with me. Yes, Michelle. Now, you don't see it because you're not a co-host anymore. Let me
That's what I was going to ask. Thank you.
Let me make you co-host. Okay. Now, Janine, do you see this where the more button is? That's where you'll get your Facebook Live, YouTube.
I don't see the more button.
I don't have a more
either.
button.
I don't either.
Okay, if you don't, then it's only exclusive to host. So as co-host, you don't see that. And that makes sense because as a host, you're the one that's gonna let it go live to YouTube or Facebook.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, all right, well, okay.
So it's under more though, is what you're
Yes,
saying. There's a tab that says more, and that's where we would have it. Now, so the question then is, do we select where we want it to go at the end of the session, or do we do it during, or does it matter?
It matters, and it's right at the beginning. So if I hit live on Facebook, I'm going to tell it right then and there what group to go to.
Okay, now can you also post it on Facebook later?
No.
Can you record it and then post it on Facebook?
But then it's a recording. But if you want it live, this means live stream. So
okay.
If you're going to, yes. So the answer is yes, but you're just going to use your regular recording, put it on your desktop, and then post it there. You cannot do it to the cloud and have it go directly to Facebook. If you do it to the cloud, you've got to download it on your computer, then, load it up. So just one more step.
Okay, got it.
Good questions, ladies. All right.
So RV, so when you, because we can now see that if we click that we actually conduct this through the Facebook Live, so people that are going into Facebook, they can see your meeting, participate in your meeting, correct?
Yes, live. Okay. So where this is really good and useful is if you're doing interviews, like client interviews, like for a podcast or something like that. It works great. Okay. It works good too. If let's say your meeting was free and not a paid event, and you had a group, right? And so like my Passionately Speaking, that many of you are in my Passionately Speaking classes, I could do live into my Passionately Speaking group. And only those people could see it. I'm not putting it on my timeline. So you can be very specific per group that you want it to go in.
Okay, how do you set that up though?
Well, it's already set up. You just have to go Facebook Live when you're the host, and then you're going to get something just like you would as if you were to do a live. You're going to get a little menu, and it's going to ask you, where do you want it to go? Where do you want it to stream to?
Okay, so we're going to learn in your next other session anyway, right?
Well, not through Zoom, but yeah, you'll see that in the live. The other thing I wanted to mention is and I think Janine or whoever talked about going live. There is other programs called Live StreamYard. I don't know if you've heard of them. Zoom only goes to YouTube, and right now anyway, YouTube and Facebook Live. If you use StreamYard, but you're not using Zoom, that's in place of Zoom. If you're using StreamYard, you can have it go to multiple media, Facebook, LinkedIn, if you've got permission, Instagram, blah, 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 like 8 different platforms. So, but it's a little more complex. And I find that you don't look as good on StreamYard as you do in Zoom. It's like, no, when I'm on StreamYard, I'm like, whoa. You can see those wrinkles a little bit more. I got to get further back. But,
okay, that's good to know.
Weird, yeah. Okay, so that's just, and there's another one called Restream, R-E-Stream, and that's the one that I'm going to be learning how to use myself. It looks a little less complicated. So there's other ways to do that. All right, so now let's go and look at some fun stuff and how our setup is on the screen itself. So go over to your mute button, which that's another way to mute you. Click on the little arrow that's next to it, and we're going to look at some of those features. Now, when you have a microphone, you need to select the microphone. Now, this is $1 million idea I'm going to share with all of you. When you buy a brand new microphone, let's say it's a Yeti, this drove me nuts. You're going to plug it in. You're going to have the microphone that's going to say Yeti. You're going to select it. but your speakers are going to default to the microphone. And guess what? This is not a speaker. So you've got to change where it says select a speaker to your actual physical speakers on your desk. Got it? It throws everybody off. And I'll go to people and they go, I'll go, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And they're like plugged in and all that. And then I'll go, did you get a new microphone? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, go to your settings. They can hear me, but I can't hear them. So if you get a new microphone, go to your speaker settings, make sure your speaker and your microphone are proper. Do this every single time or it defaults to your webcam. Oftentimes I plugged in my Yeti and it defaults to my webcam and it doesn't sound as good, especially on a live. This sounds fine, but on a live, it's better with a microphone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so not much we have to do there. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go all the way to the bottom though and go to audio settings. Now, you're gonna see test speaker, you're gonna see your mic. Here, if somebody can't hear you and they complain and your speakers are the right speakers, the volume might be too low. So you have an input and an output volume. So I'm going to change my output and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So here's my regular output. Now I'm going to go whoop. Now I got it down here. Can you all see can you all hear the difference? Right? It was a lot lower, wasn't it? Right? So a lot of stuff, it really is, you're in control of it. You think it's them, but it might be you. So here's how you can tell. Same with the that was output, sorry. Same with input. So let me lower my mic. All right, I'm lowering the mic, lowering the mic, lowering the mic. Do you hear the difference? Right? Same as if I had it all the way up. All the way up, I could be blasting you, right? So you have to find, right? You have to find a happy medium. Now, how do you test this? Go into your own Zoom, right? Hit record and do the volume, play around with it and listen, play it back and listen yourself. That's one of the best ways to do it. All right. So other than those two things, that's the most important right here. Suppress the noise. That's background noise. I just make it automatic. If you go down below, again, ringtones, I make it automatic. That's the ringtones when people are coming in the room, but they do have some fun stuff if you want to change it, mess around. Okay, and just automatic join by computer. I don't want to mute my microphone when I enter, so that's off. And here's press the hold space bar to temporarily unmute yourself. So if this is off, when we just did that space bar, that could be why yours didn't work. Okay. So go ahead and press that on if you want it to work. All right. Now we have some advanced features and I just keep those on auto. Echo cancellation, that echo in the room. But if you click on it, you'll see aggressive. Maybe you're in a room that you have a lot of echo. So put aggressive on there. I didn't hear anybody, but sometimes, we've all heard some weird echo. All right. So, okay. So we're all good there. Now we're going to go down the screen here. Now over on the left, I got here through audio, but you could get here through audio or through video, but we're going to go through everything. So I want you to go back up to general. Does everybody see the general? Go to general. You should be in, Cheryl, you're not there?
And
it's up to.
General.
Oh, yes.
Okay, go to general. Now, just real quick, start Zoom when I start Windows. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to start Zoom every time I start my Windows. It'd be going on all day long. All right. So answer these questions. Now, even though I use a dual monitor, I don't have it clicked because I don't want to use dual in Zoom. I only want one. right? But I still can move my chat over if I want to and other things, but I don't want it dual showing. Okay, enter full screen when joining a meeting. They're pretty self-explanatory, but the one I want to show you is your skin types. This is how you go from an amateur Zoom user to a pro. Because when you do reactions, right? I'm going to give you a reaction. A lot of you had yellow hands, right? I saw you. You had yellow hands. So now make your own skin tone. All right, so go ahead and click on the skin tone and now give me a reaction. You can stay in the screen, you don't have to leave it, and give me a reaction. The reactions are at the bottom, remember? Yay, Jeanette did it. Yay, Cheryl did it. Good, good.
I put thumbs up. So.
Good, thumbs up, hands, whatever. Do you see it, Alice? Give me a, yay, Alice has got it. So now you just went from amateur to pro. Now, all right, Angel, why are we seeing you? You just shared your screen or something.
I have no idea what I just pushed.
Okay, so everybody go get out of there and go to gallery view because she put herself in speaker view, which is fine. Go to gallery view. It's up in your upper right-hand corner under view, and you'll be set back. Okay, everybody's got that, right? Alice, did you find it on the phone? I think it's under settings on the phone. Yes, Beth.
I've got a little icon that has 2 arrows and it says speed up at the top of my little TV screen.
Yeah, go to reactions, go back to your reactions, and you hit the blue one that's over to the right. Click it off. That's the only way you can take it up. There you go.
And what does that mean?
If you're in a big meeting, maybe you're bored and you're telling the speaker to speed it up.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Yeah. You see the regular.
That's rude.
Yeah, the regular reactions at the top, the hand, the heart, and everything, those will disappear in a few seconds. The ones at the bottom will stay up. The check mark, if you see mine that says yes, you can have everybody say yes, right? Those you have to click back off for them to disappear. Or the host can click them off for you. Okay, all right. All right, so let's, we got skin tone. Okay, now we're gonna go to the next one, which is video. Now this video, you can do it under the stop video arrow also. We're in the same place. Remember I said there's multiple ways to do things. Now for the video, ladies, this is where I promised you would look gorgeous. So you're gonna go down, you should have mirror my video, because mirror my video means my sign is to my left. If I didn't have it mirrored, then it would switch over for me over here. That'd drive me nuts. But the next one is touch up my appearance.
Oh, yes. Oh, and you can have that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Now watch when I'm going to take it off and watch what happens. It's subtle, but watch, I'm going to take it all the way off. Look at this. Look at the shadows. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Now watch. Does that soften it up?
Yes.
Is that $1 million idea?
I know. That's what I use that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not everybody knows it exists. So now you know. All right. So that's your appearance. Now let's go arrow down and you see some other questions. Always display participant's name on their video. Now these are defaults, but if you don't have it turned on, you want that. You want to always display participants' names on their video. Turn off my video when joining me. No, I remember in the setup, we turn this on, but I could come here for one meeting and turn it off if I wanted to. But why? I can turn it off on my toolbar. So who cares? All right. Hide non-video participants. So like Angeline who does a meeting, if you want to say, look, if you're not going to come in with your video, you're not going to really be participating. I'm going to hide you. We don't even know you exist. It might prompt them to turn on the video. I don't know. It's entirely up to you, but that's there for you. See myself as an active speaker while speaking. That automatically puts you into speaker mode without you ever having to do it or telling people. Now, here's something one more thing, and then I want to show you something too. See where it says 25 participants or 49. Remember I said you can go up to 49. Make sure that you do that so you can see as many people as possible. Sometimes if you only see 25, maybe it's because this only has 25. This is your screen, right? It's what you see, not what other people see.
It's not letting me choose. I mean, it's got the 25 and it looks like highlighted, but not bright. And I can't get to 49.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you, so and maybe is what status are your Zoom is? Are you a paid Zoom?
I'm a paid Zoom.
It's probably your Mac is the only thing I could think of. Because how many of you were able to change it to 49? I just changed mine back and forth.
Mine says here, when I cover over it, it says your CPUs on your computer only support 25% participants.
Oh, yes. It's
That's what mine
because,
says.
yeah, because your computer. Yeah, your computer is not capable.
Yeah.
In that.
I have a newer computer, so mine is like months old. So
Yeah, mine's years.
Okay, where is that you guys are talking about?
Okay, arrow down. It's right where we were. We're under video, right where we were, where it says touch up my appearance, but we're arrowing down. There's an arrow, a gray arrow bar on the right, just arrow down. It's all the way to the bottom.
Oh, I didn't arrow down. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so 25 or 49. Always keep it at the max. Okay.
Bobby, I have a question.
Yes, Alice.
And at the top, mirror my video. Just go back over that for me because I missed it.
Okay, now watch. Let me see if it changes me. Okay, I've got mirror my video. That means my sign that you see is in the left, right? And there's a door over here on the left. Sorry, my other left, Cheryl. This is the right, this is the left. For you, it's opposite. If I take it off, it just switched for me. Did it?
I think it does for you, but not for us.
It's only for me.
Right.
Right. So now my sign, my sign for me is on this side. Wait, this side of the screen. It's switched from my view. It looks odd. So just try it on your own. You'll see what I mean. Just try it, Alice. Yes, Beth.
Did you say that we should click the see myself as the active speaker when speaking?
No, leave that off, or every time you're speaking in a meeting, you'll be on speaker view.
Okay.
Instead of gallery. I like to just choose. Now let me show you this. Okay. I'm going to get out of this screen for a minute so you can get out too, and then I will come back. Now, when you're the host and the co-host, you can do this. So now you, in your upper right-hand corner, you can spotlight people. So I am going to spotlight Michelle for everyone. Ta-da! So you want to spotlight your speakers. This works even if they're using PowerPoint where they're the only face that you see. Now I have to take it off the spotlight. And then for my own view, I have to go back to gallery view, or she looks spotlighty to me, not to you. Now, this works great for a panel. So let me pretend I'm going to do a panel. So I'm going to spotlight Jeanette. I'm going to spotlight Alice. Oh, well, I'm supposed to have a panel. What happened? Okay, hang on. Oh, you know why? Because you're co-host. Okay. But when you do a panel, let me remove her. Okay, when you do a panel, as the host, if you weren't all co-hosts, I could set 4 of you up, like for a panel.
Like on TV.
like on TV. Now, if this gets confusing, let's just say, oh God, I can't remember. How do I do a panel? It's not working. Guess what? You can tell everybody except for the panelists. So I'm going to say panelists are Alice, Jeanette, Michelle, and Karen. Everybody else, turn off your video. Turn off your video.
Oh, I'm supposed to be on.
Turn off the video. You leave it on. Okay. So now I'm going to turn off my video. So you end up, right? Now, who's at the top? It should be the 4 people, no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The 4 people, everybody else is below them. So that is kind of like a, let me turn your videos back on. That is kind of like a easy, simple way. If you get confused, where you can have a panel, just tell everybody but the speaker, everybody but the panelist, turn their video off, right? So there's always multiple ways you can do stuff, but that's just a little fun, clever way.
And another way that I found last night, RB, you turn off your video, and then if you go to settings, the video, or maybe the video settings, and you click hide non-video participants, it'll be black and it will just be the 4 panel.
Right, you can do that as well. Thank you. So remember we saw hide. Okay, so let's do that. So if we go, let's go back to the video button where we were. So now go to stop video and the little arrow. Okay, very good. Go to video settings now at the bottom. All right, arrow down, and remember it says hide non-video participants. So let's do that again. You're all going to click on that, and we're going to leave Angeline, Karen, Cheryl, and Jeanette. They're what I see at the top. And we're going to, you 4 of you leave your videos on. Everybody else click on hide non-video and then turn your video off. Myself included. Okay, so now, so now look at that. So that's another way to have a panel. Do you see that? Very good, Karen. Thank you.
Now, would we have to tell everybody to do that? To get
You would.
It would just be my settings, right?
You would. That's what's a pain in the butt. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, just different ways to do that. It's easier to spotlight. Okay, so now take off the non-hide. Everybody come back into the room. Okay, couple other things I want to share. All right, so now you know about Spotlight. All of you have it. As co-host, you can spotlight. So let's see. Oh, wait, what happened to me? Okay. All right, so Beth, why don't you spotlight somebody for fun?
I don't have it.
Okay, because
I didn't either. Or where's it at again?
The 3 dots next to your next.
Oh, that's why.
Oh,
Thank you.
wait.
Okay.
And I can spotlight, like I can spotlight Karen. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I go to that person and I spotlight
Okay.
them.
Now, see, she spotlight. This is what I was trying to do before, is get a panel. So spotlighting people is the best way to get the panel. It's the fastest, easiest way.
Okay.
All right, great. Now go ahead and stop the spotlight. Now you can go to their name. You'll see a little pin right by their name. You can go to their name and then remove spotlight, or go up to the 3 dots and remove spotlight. I just removed spotlight. Then you go up to the view and you have to change your view back to gallery view. You have to do it yourself. All right. Now, one last thing about all this stuff, and then we'll do a couple more fun things. You can grab and move into position. So like Angeline, like I'll call people in the order that they came in the screen, but sometimes you want to put people in a certain order. You can grab people's screen. You have, if you move your mouse around, you'll see a little hand, right? Everybody see that? So let's grab somebody's screen, just like click on your mouse, like I'm grabbing on Cheryl and I'm moving Cheryl to the left. Oh, for me only. It's for my view only. Is that cool? Look at Tori's loving that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can move people around if you want. So even if they turned off their video, you can put them back in position or put them in alphabetical order or whatever order you want. It's really cool. But no, it's only for you. You're the only one that sees that. Okay. If anybody else wants to do it, they can do it. You cannot see other people's screens. You don't know how they're positioned. The only way you can see anybody's screen is if they took a picture, which we should do right now, by the way.
Yes.
We
So
should
even if we're not host or co-host, we could move people around, even
Oh,
just a
yeah.
participant.
You don't have to be co-host to move people around. No. Okay, so let me take a picture of everybody. So everybody kind of go, woo, do something fun. Yay, there we go. Yay, one more. Yay, I love it, love it. Okay, good. But see, then that's the only way you can see somebody's screen and you go, oh, that's what we're looking at. Yeah. Okay, so we're almost done here. We'll probably go to 1 o'clock if that's okay with everybody. All right, good. A lot of good questions today. Now, let's go to the video again, the little thing, and let's do some virtual backgrounds. Now, we all know about virtual backgrounds. We see Tori has a virtual background right now. If you don't have virtual backgrounds, it could be your computer, but here's the blur. If you do, and you have the latest version of Zoom, you can do the blur, like what we saw Katie have. And where did Janine go? She left. Janine left. She was having trouble with her video. What happened to her, girl? Oh, well, maybe she had another meeting. But you can also load up, ladies, your own pictures, and you can put any picture that you want. So look at this one. Here's my doggies. Ta-da! Right? So you can load up logos, pictures, anything. Yeah, do some fun things there, or you can even load up videos. So here's a video from one of my events. However, you will not hear the sound. You cannot hear the sound from the video, and be careful, it's not a distraction. Okay, but just so you know, you can do that. And just so it's a lot of fun. And then, like I say, you could do logos. Here's a logo, here's my logo, right? People.
I have my Christmas fireplace going.
Oh, let me see that. I got my screen up. Now, see, that's lovely. And you can tell a story.
Yep.
Tell a story.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got all kinds of stuff on here.
All right. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So once.
So that's my other virtual video. See?
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Actually, beautiful. Okay. So that's the way you do that with oh my God, look at that. Okay. So beautiful. Oh, yeah. Now let's go to do filters. So now go back to stop video. And now instead of backgrounds, do filters. And let's just play with the filters. Now the filters, you can put little faces on, right? Little fun faces, right? Some fun things like that. I'm a bunny rabbit, right? And they're putting new ones on all the time. Okay, this is, let me see, this is one of my favorites that I often use. I love this one. Right? Yeah, there you go, Jeanette. Her little flower. Sunglasses. There you go, Lavana. There you go.
And they move with you too.
They move, yeah. So you can move and they move with you and they stay on. And of course, this is a new little guy there. That's a new little guy, right? And they have TV sets and pictures. Now, be careful when you use things like this, because what that does is block you. Doesn't it feel more blocked for me? Like I'm one stage, again, away from you, as opposed to, even something like this, right? So be careful because it can make you look further away than you want to be. Okay, but some of it's fun. You can just do like some weird things like this too, some weird backgrounds. So play with those, have fun, and as long as they don't, oops, there's a TV. Look at, I'm too short. Hello.
Like a little kid jumping up.
Yeah, exactly. Those are some fun ways that you can make some fun meetings. And again, be careful they're not a distraction, but you can have a little time out. Look at Luana's she's a black and white on like a television set. That's bizarre, isn't it? Okay. All right, so have some fun with that. You can play in your Zoom like that by starting your meeting. You don't have to have anybody come in the meeting to have it be a live meeting. I always do a check, right? Check, make sure my lights are on, I look okay, right? Especially if I'm going to do a podcast or something. So you can go in and be in Zoom all by yourself and play with these things. Okay, yes, Cheryl. Did you have your hand up, Cheryl? Okay, perfect. Jeanette.
I've been playing with the colored filters at the top. So I have a pink filter on right now. I'm going to change it to none.
Ooh, I like the pink.
I do too.
Yeah, so it adds just a little bit more color. I'm using the one on the far right.
I like it. Let's all do the pink one and see what we see if we all look better. Okay, so I just used the pink. Now for me, it's not as natural. Look at that as for Jeanette. Mine looks a little funny, little fake.
Yes, mine too.
Okay.
How does this one look on me?
Take it off and put it on.
Okay.
Yeah, mine looks very.
Oh, I think I like the filter.
Yeah, I like the pink too, Cheryl. It gives a richness.
Mm-hmm.
Mine just look the opposite. See mine?
Yeah, mine doesn't look good either. Luana, what does yours look like?
I have I guess it's a kind of whitish, off-white that's on there. This is the one that gave me the black and white, the grayish one.
Okay, mine right now, I have a sea foam.
So
a sea foam.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I like that one on you. That one looks good.
The sea foam looks, I think it just depends on the person, right?
Yeah, and the lighting.
And your lighting.
And your lighting, because I have a bright light. So Tori, which one did you look good on you? Which one did you use? You're muted. I know, I hate that. You could stay unmuted, just stay unmuted unless there's a dog barking or something. And I'm guilty of that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here it is. I like this one, I think.
Well, now you turned your video off, so we can't see it either.
Oh, no. Okay, is that good now? Am I good now?
You're good.
Okay.
Turn on
I think I like this one.
Which one is it?
It's it's between the tan and the blue.
Okay, take it off and let's see.
Okay. Oh, it's called cream. Okay, so I'm going to take it off. I can't take it off.
Just click on it again.
No, you
don't
click on
none.
it, you go to.
Go to
Hit
none.
on none and it'll
None.
take it off.
Oh,
All right.
none?
Uh-huh.
None. None. Where's none?
First
Okay.
one?
Should be on.
Oh,
your-
none.
On the
Okay.
left, yeah, and then
You
restart.
know what? It's
you're
kind
right.
of stuck on that.
Yeah.
It's stuck on that. I'm tapping it. It won't untap. My computer is really strange, you guys.
We're having fun today.
Yeah, I know.
Might be time for some new one.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's continue real quick. We're almost complete here. So let's go back to video settings. We got the filters. Let's go back to the video settings for a moment.
Mhm.
And we're going to go down all these ideas over on the left side of your video. Covered all the video stuff. That's all there is to it. If you go into advanced, it's so advanced, just leave everything on auto. Don't even worry about it. But let's go down now. We did general, we did video, and we did audio, right? Now, here's a quick way to change anything about your screen, sharing a screen. We have full screen, maximize screen, fit to scale, side by side, all of that, that when you share your screen, people are going to see. I like full screen. We want full screen if possible, right? I just leave the settings. Don't even worry about it. But just know it's there in case anything screwy happens.
Where are you, RV?
Share screen, which is under audio.
Oh, click it.
Yeah. Sorry, click it.
Okay. And then you were saying keep it on full screen.
Keep it on full screen, scale to fit. All these things should be pretty automatic and nothing that you need to do. Okay. All right. Now, chat, we know what the chat is. Keep going down. These are, again, remember I said there's 2 ways to do something. So we have our basic setup, but now maybe you're in a Zoom. You don't want to go to zoom.us, but you want to make some quick changes. You could do it here. Okay. All right. Then background and filters. Here's another way to get there. We got there through the video, but here's another way to get there, right? Same with the recordings, another way to get there. Now, but here's what I want you to do on recordings. And this is for you, Beth, because you asked me about this, right? Now, do you see where it says local recording? Is everybody there clicked on record?
Yeah.
It says store my recordings at. This is a default. It's going to go to you. It's going to go to see users, your user ID, documents, etc. That might not be where you want them. So what you do is you change it and send it wherever you want. So go ahead and hit the word change and you'll see your computer stuff comes up and you can tell it to go to drive D, E, or somewhere else in C. This is magic. No, everybody always gets lost here. They go, where's it going? The place this is going is where your recordings are going when you end your Zoom meeting and all your chats that you save. Got it?
Yeah, mine go to an external hard drive.
Okay, good for you, Luana. Good for you. So this is where you change where to go. So what do you think, Beth? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, well, when I open it up, I see, I'm not sure. I think it must be this under documents. There it is. There's my Zoom. And I see them all there. And, you know, that's not a bad place because I've got it on the cloud. But they're telling me that I've used up all my space on Zoom and I better clean it up.
Okay, so it's not on your hard disk. Now, if you're sending all your chats on and all those recordings on the cloud, you do not want to do that.
Okay.
You only have 2 megabytes, even on a paid account. They want you to buy more. So mine's used up too. So let me share with you where the recordings typically go if you do them on the cloud. All right.
Okay.
So let me.
I've lost you, so let me find you. Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, and I'm going to show you where they go. See this recording? Typically, when you do it, when you record, they go, when you record to the cloud, they go here.
Yeah.
Right? And guess what? Like I have 3 here that I've got to download, right? So I download them, they go onto my hard disk, and then I put them wherever I want, right? Then I delete them. See this delete button?
Yeah.
Now, if you are downloading directly to your computer, your chats and your recordings, you don't run out of room on your computer.
Right.
You only run out of cloud room, and it's their cloud.
Okay, so I should put it in my computer under my C drive.
Yes. Yeah, I would recommend that because otherwise you run out of space and then you have to pay them extra.
And then you have to pay them extra. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, then now I know. So I don't have that many, so I'll go clean it up and store them in a new spot. I guess I could put them on an external hard drive too.
Yes,
Yeah, I do that to keep from filling up my computer.
yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
RV, there was a thing that said local recordings. What is that? Right beside the cloud recordings.
Where did you see that? Let me go.
Share your screen again.
Yeah, okay. So where'd you see?
So right beside cloud recordings, there's a local recordings.
Where'd you see that cloud recording?
On
That's where you can have it go to your computer.
Okay.
Scroll back up or so that you can see cloud recordings. You see the word cloud recordings, then there's local recordings.
Oh, yeah. Cloud recordings and local recordings.
Yeah.
So yes.
So then it shows you where you put them.
Yeah.
Shows you where you put them. It's
Nice.
it's not using cloud space. It's just showing you. You can open them directly from here, or you can delete them. Now, if I deleted these, they're not deleting it on my hard disk. It's only deleting it on this screen. But as you know, it's just another way just to save it. Look at how many I have, 308.
Wow.
And you have them all on your computer and your C drive.
I do. Well, they go to my C drive, but then I transfer them depending on if they're a podcast or passionately speaking. I put them on a separate drive in my hard drive. Now, what I chose to do is get a new terabyte worth of hard disk space. And that's what I did. That's how I solved the problem. I don't want to get rid of them. I'm a saver forever. So I want to save them. So I just upgraded and got another external drive, and I got a terabyte. Now I don't have to worry. I've room. I'll probably never run out.
Right.
Right.
But if you're on a laptop, you don't always have that luxury.
You just have to get an external hard drive and put them there.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing, Luana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, all the stuff that's on my computer, I have it copied over to my external hard drive just in case, because I've lost stuff when computers have crashed and couldn't get them back.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the last thing, so Cheryl wanted to know more about webinars. I wrote down, I covered everything that you asked for so far, but let me just share a little bit about the difference between the webinar and the meetings, so you can decide whether or not you want to do that. Okay. Now, again, whether or not you are a host or not, it doesn't matter. See down below where you see participants. We have 11 participants, right? That's including the host, so it includes yourself. When you do a webinar, you do not see that. People do not see that, only the host. Plus, you do not see all the faces. Now, you do not have hosts and co-hosts, but you have panelists in a webinar. So I could bring each and every one of you in as a panelist, and then we could see everybody. But then you'd also see how many participants. Also, the chat bar is automatically, when you do a chat in a webinar, there's no such thing as private chat in a webinar.
Yeah.
It's only chat or no chat. Okay? And nobody can see the participants' names either. So why would you use that? Sometimes, you know what? A lot of people like them now because they don't have to get dolled up, right? They're tired of Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting. So you do a webinar when, number one, maybe you don't have a lot of people and you don't want everybody to know you only have 2 people there, but you still want to do it because you want to record it. You know, you want to create content. So you do a webinar and nobody can see how many participants are there. Nobody can see the names. And of course, nobody can private chat. You still can chat on a webinar, you know? So I say, tell people, hello, tell us who you're calling in from. But if I only have 2 people, I might not say that at all. I might just go, welcome everyone. And welcome, and I don't lie. I don't say, oh, we've got 100 people. I've heard people say that, but I just don't mention it. Right? Hey, everyone. We don't know if there's 5 people or 100 people. Hey, everyone, welcome, welcome. We're going to get started. All right, I'm going to give a few more minutes for people to come in the room. Yes, okay, great. I'm glad you're here. You know, and you just chit chat and then start your webinar, record it, and now you have content. So that's when you would want a webinar. Now,
Yeah,
the
but
other-
you and you have to pay extra to be
Yeah.
in the webinar, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another level of membership.
another level, and you will automatically have 100. The first level is 100. Yeah, I have two. I have two, one for 100, and I have another one for 500. I have 2 accounts. Why do I have 2 accounts? You're asking? Because I got the one, and everybody has that number. People that I know have that number. I wanted to keep that number, but I need the other one for my $1 Million Speaker Summit where I get 200 people. Yeah. So most of the time I just manage one account, but my other one is not a webinar account. It's just a 500 account, but it's not a webinar account. So there's different things to do for different people. Yeah.
So on the webinar account, you were mentioning about doing it and you maybe you only had 2 people there. Does that mean the people who are there also have no idea that it's just the 2 of them?
That's right.
Correct.
Ah, I like it.
So RV, if I have a Zoom account, that's fine. But if I want a webinar account, I have to go back in and purchase it.
Yes, you have to purchase the actual one with the webinar because it's separate. So just going a pro account for 100 people doesn't automatically make you a webinar. You have to look for the one that has the webinar attachment. So I pay an extra $40, but it could be higher because I got mine a long time ago. So I only pay $9.97 for my regular account. Now it's $14.99.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I bought mine in 2015.
Yeah.
Now the webinar might be more expensive now too, so don't go buy.
But you could you do it month by month? Let's say you only need it this month, but it might be 6 months.
I do it month by month. Yeah, I do mine month by month, so I pay $49.99 for both as one bill. Yeah.
Okay.
And then my other account, that's a separate one.
And then will a Zoom webinar, will everything run about the same as what we're learning now on the regular Zoom meeting?
Oh, yes, because I have the webinar account. And you see the meeting is the same.
No, I mean, if I say I get a Zoom webinar, everything you're teaching us now, it's pretty much the same.
It's pretty much the same, but you don't have to worry about security because it's a webinar. It's already secure. You have a separate link. There's no way you can use your instant ID link. You set up the webinar. You have to schedule webinars and you'll get a webinar link, a separate link. Then what you do is you start the webinar. So let me just show you my screen again for the webinar. One thing I love too about webinars is, let me go back to webinar. When you schedule a webinar, like I have a webinar actually set for next Wednesday, right? So here's my webinar. I can click on it. It's going to look pretty much the same, except remember I have panelists and not co-hosts, right? And look at, it gives me this big old number. So I copy that, right? And that's my link. But you see, it's pretty much the same. The only difference too is I have to go into here to start the webinar. I cannot just use that link. I have to start it because it's scheduled. But
And when you hit start, does it automatically start or does it start and then you click the record button or whatever?
Well, it automatically starts, but yes, you always have to hit the record button unless you have it set up to automatically record. Now, I don't want that in my events. And part of it is because I might come in early and get everything ready. And then if I want to use it as a live, then I have to edit it and get that out of there. Now, so for my $1 Million Speaker Summit, I had let, my event planner and CJ come in early and they're just sitting there talking. I had it record automatically and they're just sitting there chit-chatting and he's playing the music. When you want to load something up on YouTube, ladies, you cannot use music that is not free royalty.
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook both will X-nay it. So then you
Right.
have to edit it. Well, remember how I feel about editing? I don't want to edit. So what I did for my one day, which many of you came to my one day where CJ was, I told CJ, do not start recording until you introduce me, start to introduce me, then record without the music, right? And it breaks, stop the recording before you play the music at break.
Mhm.
Oh.
Right, so Karen had to go, sorry. Okay, so those are just some kind of the tricks that I had to learn the hard way, loading it up and having YouTube not take it because of the music. Right, unless it's royalty free, which is what we often buy for our podcasts, right? If you want royalty free little snippets, you can go to musicbakery.com. At $30, you get a little royalty free little snippet that you can use. All right. Now, before we go, I want to show you one last thing, and I want Angeline to do this for us. And that is, Angeline, go to the file button and load up your flyer. And then I want all of you to download it. So load up your, just so you can see how this whole file thing works. And then we'll end our meeting today. We could go on for hours, but I'm getting a little hungry.
I have a quick question about webinars again. Would you recommend that Zoom webinar is the best webinar, or are there other platforms to consider?
I think Zoom is the easiest because Zoom will let you, as the webinar host, show your picture, where GoToWebinar does not. They do have a video feature, but it's more complicated. And yeah, so I would just use Zoom. It's cheaper too than GoToWebinar. GoToWebinar was years ago $99.99 a month. Who's sharing their screen?
Okay.
Angeline.
Oh,
Yeah.
Angeline, don't share your screen.
Oh,
No, put it in. No, what I'm trying to demonstrate is file. So go to your chat box, go to that file, the three little buttons.
go to chat.
No, go to file, which is next to, go to chat, go to file, which is next to the three little buttons, and go down to your computer. You can all look at this and send everybody that flyer.
Oh, that's how you send something. I never.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never knew that was
Say it
right.
again. How do you do it?
Go to chat,
Yeah.
go to file,
Okay.
which is right next to three dots. The three dots is how you save the chat. But if you want to send somebody a file, click on that file button and go to your computer, get the file, return, and then it'll be in the chat and all of us get to download it by going.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Here. So,
So,
Wow.
I knew
Yeah.
she had a flyer. So see if you can do that and give it to us.
yeah.
How did you say you download?
No, don't download.
Okay.
No, you're actually uploading.
So I just did it. That can everybody see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, okay, now click on it. And now your computer should come up. So then you can
Oh.
save it.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
How cool is that?
Very
Wow.
simple and easy.
Super easy. So if you're conducting any kind of a class and you want to give a handout,
Mm-hmm.
then this is how you do it. And then they'll have the handout.
Instead of doing the share screen. Okay.
Mhm. Well, the share screen, they'll see it, but here's how they can get it.
We
Right.
can actually get it and we can print it right now.
And you can print it.
Mhm.
Right? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Hey, Alice, is that cool? So Alice, you could send people some important documents, on your private coaching with Zoom that way, without
Perfect.
having to send it to them in Word or send it to them in email. You could do it right on the spot.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Jeanette,
Very
that
nice,
filter
very
you
nice.
have on is beautiful on you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Keep that on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
looks good. Mhm.
All right.
Oh, Ari, can I ask you this question? I know maybe because I went into the early break. When you do a co-host and you only want to choose 2 people on the co-host, how do you choose that people?
You go to their screen. You go to the upper 3 dots on that person's screen, not your own, their screen. You
Oh,
click
their
on
screen, okay.
their screen, and then you make them co-host.
And you can only do that if you are if you're
You
the
have to be the host. You have to be the host. So Angeline, I'll make you the host temporarily. I'll
Okay.
make you the host. Oh no,
Okay.
I made Jeanette the host. Hang on. Accidentally. I was on her screen. Okay, I'll make you the host.
Okay.
Okay. So now you are now the host.
Okay.
So now you make me co-host.
Okay, when I click the 3 dots.
You have to go to me. My
Oh, go to you.
go to
Okay.
my 3 dots and then make
Oh,
me
your 3
co-host.
dots. Okay. And then I do the what the name?
No. You
Oh yeah, make host. Oh, make co-host.
make co-host.
Got it. Okay.
And
So-
that's how you do it.
How
So
you
the-
do it? I still don't know how to do that.
All right. So I'll make you, okay. So Angeline, make Cheryl the host. You can only do it if you're the host.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, otherwise you cannot do it. You have to be the host to assign it. Otherwise it doesn't show that option.
Okay.
That's correct. All right. So Angel, how you doing? You getting a little tired?
Do you see me falling asleep? I was really late, but no, but you said we'd get 5 things. I've got more than 5.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
500.
So RV, can you go over saving your files? I have such tons of files because I've been doing Zoom for a year now, and I lecture like every other week, and I want to save those lectures.
Well,
So
aren't they all are you recording?
yes, I am. I'm recording.
Okay, so you already have them saved, but they're saved to your C drive.
Yes,
Do you want them to be saved somewhere else?
I think it's better to, don't you? Like,
It depends on how big your drives are. I have multiple drives, but some people only have C drive.
I only have C drive, so
Do you know how much left on your C drive?
probably not much. You know, I tend to crash my PCs all the time. So should I get an outside drive and then just do that? Like
yeah.
you guys were saying.
You should, what I recommend you do though is get a computer person, a computer guy or gal,
Yes.
and then ask their recommendations, because it might be a plug-in hard disk, or you might, if you're going to do this, are you on a laptop?
Yes.
Okay, so you might just want a desktop for your lectures and stuff, and save the laptop for when you travel, because laptops are limited
I know.
on everything.
Yeah, it's not enough space. Yeah.
Functionality, internet, lighting, the webcam, all of it's limited.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you for that advice.
Yeah, and especially now we're doing virtual, we can do everything from home. And I found out having a desktop is so useful.
Okay.
Because you can, do a lot of things just from home, right? You don't have to go to the restaurant to conduct a meeting.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
Beth had her hand up. Yes, Beth.
Okay, am I losing it? I was going to ask something.
That happens to me all the time.
I'm hoping it comes back.
It's
a
part of
it will.
Well, when
patches.
I spent too much time figuring out how to raise my hand.
Okay.
No, I know. I got an external camera. But now I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it instead of my desk and the one I'm looking at right now on my computer.
Well, normally if you have a laptop, you can't.
Yes, correct.
No, you can.
But you have you have
a screen.
plug and play.
You plug it in, because I have one.
Oh,
you plug it in, and you're given an option. under video,
Yes.
Okay.
and it'll ask you
Okay.
which one you want to use. And you
Okay.
click on the
Okay.
one you want.
But to use both at the same time, no.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I think you just told me that I need to get a desktop because you're right. We're doing
Yeah.
all this work from
Yes.
home
Yes.
Yeah,
and trying to make a small
Yes.
device work.
right,
Okay.
right.
Now that webcam will work on your desktop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And-
And
I
also, what
will-
is the, can I ask RV, what is the best microphone to get? An external mic, because I'm doing Zoom every other
Yeah.
week.
Well, I have three. I have three different ones, right? I've got a big boy sitting over here, too difficult to use. So
Okay.
one of the most easiest is the Yeti, YETI.
Okay,
I had the Nano, it was too small, not powerful enough. So then I got a Yeti,
okay,
bigger Yeti. You can get them on Amazon.
Mhm.
They're like $100. They plug right into the USB.
yes. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
But remember what I said, the first time you plug it in, your speakers aren't going to work. So you got to look at the audio, change your speakers back to your speakers.
Okay,
It's
thank
gonna
you.
default at this, yeah, but I would use
Yes.
this. A lot of
Okay.
podcasters use this, but I do other things for podcasting. I have like a $500 microphone
Oh,
sitting,
wow.
Yes.
but I don't use it very often because you have to have a mixing board and it just gets too complicated. Then I
Okay,
have another one I'm using for Audible, but it's hooked to my laptop, which is in my closet, because you have to go into a closet for for echo, because I'm
Right.
recording my Audible book.
You
Oh,
know,
wow.
our library has a recording room that you can go and rent. I mean, no cost, and sit in there and do your recordings.
Nice.
Wow.
All I have to do is
Wow.
fly to Colorado.
Well, check and see if you don't have one at your library. So
I
it's
never thought of it. Look, I'm happy in my closet.
okay. All right. Stay in the closet.
It's a walk-in closet and I have shelves and everything, so I'm good. Okay. Okay, ladies, well,
Okay.
we better
Thank you
go.
so much,
you.
and we will see you next week, right?
See you next
Yes.
week. If you have any questions, just email me or call me. Most all of you have my phone number. Just call me. I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you,
Oh,
RV.
thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.